How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to New York Islanders franchise mode here at NHL 25. Moving into episode number 25, the quarter century mark for the year number 7, 2031 postseason. In the last one, it was a very streaky second half that had us finish one game above our first half pace. We were on pace for 52 wins. We ended with 53, going 53, 21, and 8. But I say streaky because that second half of the season also included a 15-game win streak. We thought we were going to hit 60 at one point. So still a fantastic season. Our first President's Trophy in franchise history. But even with the win streak, we're still concerned about a few things like, as always, the goaltending, some of the depth scoring, etc. But that shouldn't cast a shadow over an incredibly successful season as we went 53, 21, and 8. We were the second highest scoring team in the league at 3.89 goals for per game. Goals against per game at 2.95 had us 7th least, or tied with, I suppose, the Devils there. Our power play at 20.5% was also one of the better ones in the league as we finished, was it 9th, 8th, or 9th best? We'll see the rankings in a moment. And penalty kill at 81.9%. That was a little bit lower, but still closer to the top than the bottom, right around the middle. When we look at our rankings here on the right side of the screen at the main hub, we see we're second in the league for that. Yeah, 7th for goals against, 9th for power play, 13th for penalty kill. And our opponent, the Montreal Canadiens, in round number 1, they went 39, 35, and 8, and they were bottom 10 pretty much in all of those stats. But as we always know, that means nothing in franchise mode. We can't take it for granted. It's a whole new season here in the postseason, and we made it the dance. Now it's time to see what we can do on the dance floor. But before we get to that dance, let's recap some of the scoring performances this season, as Matty Barzal led the team in points with 91 at the age of 33 now. The expiring contract, back-to-back 90-plus point seasons, 3 consecutive point-per-game-plus seasons, 4 of his last 5 point-per-game-plus seasons. He's just getting better with age, and another one of those players who will need a contract this offseason. Barzal, Horvat, Yurchek, it's going to be tough. But first, let's try and get ourselves another cup. Brock Besser, on the first of the 2-year deal that he signed last offseason of $13 million per season, continues to deliver 33 goals and 90 points from the 34-year-old. Bo Horvat, 36 now himself, yes, down to an 85 overall, but still 38 goals and 86 points from the captain. So it's certainly something we have to keep in mind that our top 3 scorers are all 33 or over. But for right now, we're loving life. Busy offseason ahead, but we're not there yet. Porter Martone, career year, 74 points from the 24-year-old. Cole Eiserman, 35 goals and 73. He's also 24. Landon Dupont in his 3rd season, correct? Yes, his 3rd season, career high, 58 points. Also going to need a contract coming off of his ELC this offseason. Patrick Laine in a reduced role. We knew it would be reduced, but he still put up respectable numbers. We appreciate him being a trooper. 57 points and 26 goals in 79 games. Oliver Kapanen is one who had a bit of a down year, but we got to take some blame for that. We tried mixing around the top 6 to get Ethan Belchet's going, so we took Oliver Kapanen out of the top 6 for a little bit. So although we still have the majority, like say maybe 50, 55 games in the top 6, not the entire season in the top 6. So next year, it will be a full-on, maybe even probably first-line center season for Oliver Kapanen. So we're not worried about the production. We're just sad that it couldn't have been as good as last year, where we had 66 as a third-line center, and this year 57 between the middle 6. Anyways, he'll likely be our first-line center next season with Bo regressing, and Barzal regressing, etc. Speaking of centermen, Dylan Cousins in his first year as an Islander put up 56 points as our third-line center. After seeing so much pain in Buffalo and 0 career playoff games, he joins the Islanders and will now come into the postseason on a President's Trophy winning team. So Cousins is loving life. David Yurchek, career high 51 points and a plus 56. Every year with us, he's gotten better. 23, 32, 42, 51. And the plus minus is 31, 29, 47, 56. It's incredible. He is another one who's going to need a huge payday this offseason. It will not be easy. Fagemo is a huge surprise. We have a lot to go over to start the episode, but we can't gloss over this. Samuel Fagemo, who was in a 4th-line role, promoted to some 3rd-line time, got some power play time, but still in the end averaging just under 9 minutes of ice time per night, comes away with 41 points. What? And a plus 15 as well. So we'll try our best to get him in the top 9 next year, especially if Ethan Belchet won't be back. Belchet at an 83 overall, coming off of the Calder Trophy, playing over 14 minutes per night. He only manages 30 points in 76 games. He's getting the power play time, the penalty kill time, and Fagemo is just embarrassing him. So Ethan Belchet, unless something really changes in the postseason, or we really need to keep him for our aging top 6, he is likely on his way out come the draft or come July. Vince Dunn, another expiring contract, 28 points from the 34-year-old defenseman. Ralph Preissing down on the 4th line, 14 goals, 22 points. Arcuri, 22 points as 4th line center. Rasmus Sandin, 19 points and a plus 19. So consistent. He's been here for a while now. now. I love Rasmus Sandin. Thomas Hornqvist in his rookie season puts up 18 points and is a plus 27 in 75 games. The 20-year-old now at an 81. Love to see that. Ryan Pulock hit 1,000 games as an Islander, scored 10 points in 48 games. Boldzuk 6 in 41. Nurmi as 13th forward, 1 assist in 9 games. Now, for the goaltending, Emperor Trey Augustine had 55 appearances, going 36, 15, and 4. 1 shutout, but just above a 900 save percentage at 905, and just under 3 goals against average at 2.94. Meanwhile, Ilya Sorokin went 17, 8, and 4 with 2 shutouts, 910 save percentage, and 2.71 goals against average in 32 appearances. So, is the 35-year-old potentially the one that we're giving a bit more trust to moving into the postseason? Likely his last year as an Islander as well, as we'll need to free up that money into the offseason. He'll likely be moved at the draft with that 1 year left on his contract. We picked up Linus Ullmark just as a third goalie. He had 1 start as an Islander, allowing 5 goals on 29 shots. So, yeah, he really is just emergency backup. That was the goaltending for the season, and the scoring, very heavy for our older players. Yes, we have Martone. Yes, we have Kapanen, EISERMAN, but we need to have some more pieces in this top 6 moving forward. Belchetz has not been one of those. We can see a very busy offseason ahead, but we're not there yet. First is the postseason, as we're going to try for a 4th consecutive Eastern Conference final, and to make our 3rd Stanley Cup final of the last 4 years, and ultimately win our 2nd cup of the last 3 years, and of our 7 seasons so far here on Long Island. Possibly the last run for some of these older players. We've said it a few times now. We've said goodbye to Cizikas, Palmieri, etc., but now it might be also time to say goodbye to some of the other players, or at least see diminished roles from them moving forward. Our biggest question from the last one, before we look at the Canadians and get round 1 started, from the AGMs, was thinking about the expiring contracts and any extensions we could send out right now. We will have 33.08, so about 33 million in extension dollars, knowing that Dupont and Jiricek will take huge money, Barzal, Dunn, and Horvat will take big money, and aside from that, it's filler pieces that we could find cheap value for. So last episode was entitled Blank Jiricek, as we were pretty much throwing everything we could at him. He started off not wanting that much. We were thinking, hey, we could get him for even under 10 million. But as the season went on and he kept producing so much and he kept saying no to the offers that we were sending him, his demand just kept getting higher. He's now looking at the 8x14 range. So although I don't think we'll be going to that, we know that if we want to keep David Jiricek, which we do, it will be costly. If we can have Jiricek and Dupont as our first pair, not only of the present and of the last few years, but of the future, like into the next 5 years plus, that would put us in a very, very good place. Yes, we have good defensemen in the system, but if Jiricek and Dupont can be locked in as the top pair, that would be worth the 25 million that it might cost. So with all that said, let's dive into the comments from the AGMs and see some of those thoughts on the extensions before we roll into the playoffs. So we'll start off with Cagney, who left a great comment saying, first off, love the title, Blank Jiricek, thank you, clever stuff. One element of my comment from a prior video that I left out was a feeling that getting Jiricek and Dupont re-signed was critical for the team. I agree. Seems I underestimated the complications of EA negotiations, so did I, but still believe we need to figure it out with him if possible. Barzal likely wanting big money could make it tricky, but with equity being the spirit and challenge of this series, we likely also need to figure it out with him as well, even though trading him might be a pragmatic franchise mode decision. Very well said. That's where the moving out of Ilya Sorokin and or Patrick Laine will free up some money. Now moving on, before all that, the playoffs. I think goaltending is the big decision area as per usual, and while I don't want to take beating the Habs for granted, it might be interesting to give both Augustine and Sorokin games in this series with an eye towards the better performer taking the reins moving forward. Interesting, I like that. Finally, you bent over backwards for Belchetz with all that power play time, but I completely admit I lost faith seeing that he contributed nothing there. Your instincts are quite good in all these EA games from what I'm seeing, thank you, so I'm open to using him as a part of trade assets to get quality youth into the team. It'll be exciting to see what we come up with. Cup run incoming. Thank you, Cagney. Very, very well thought out comment. Kieran says, I think tie Dupont down for 8 years no matter what. He will perform. Even if he didn't, his overall will be so strong that his floor is an elite first pair guy. Jiricek I would tie down as well, as this game has shown that, much like the last 400 gel games, it's very tough to develop D-men. I would rather spend big in defense and trust in the development and free agent pickups for the forwards. Thank you, Kieran. So we definitely have faith in Dupont. We know he'll be the guy for a long, long time. It's more just trying to think in franchise mode terms of, if we sign him for 4 years now, will he want 20 million after that, or is it okay to sign him now for 8x14 and then 8 years from now when he's 29 then give him his 20 million or whatever? Just trying to think in franchise mode terms. Sam left a comment saying, "Hi Data, that second half was very streaky for us in multiple ways. From that insane 15-game winning streak to the struggles in the slow sim to the embarrassment that was the Ryan Pulock 1000th game celebration. If you know, you know. This episode was probably the most mixed bag we could have gotten. Thank you, EA." Sarcasm. "It does look like we are going to have to make a lot of moves this offseason, mostly in the trade market. But first things first, I think we should go full send on the Dupont extension for 8 years at 12 to 13 million per season, including the necessary trade movement clauses for the most reasonable contract. Other than that, I'll save the rest of my thoughts for my normal Giga comment at the end of next episode going into the offseason, yes, though I do like the Belchet's extension. Good business. Looking forward to one more deep playoff run with this group. Let's go Isles." Thank you, Sam. And we'll finish it off with one more comment here, as Steven cut something that I'd missed. Thank you, Steven, for your observation. "Hi, Data. There were some great moments with those 1,000 games for 3 of our players." Yes, so over the course of the year, Pulock and Barzal both hit 1,000 games as an Islander, but both Laine and Besser also hit 1,000 career games. But also, Steven says, "Horvat scored his 500th goal in the last game of the season, and he got to 1,000 points early on in that very same season. Also, I don't like the greedy year check demands, and if he does not come back to Earth, I would probably even trade him. I leave this up to you, and I'm very curious how you handle this situation. Go Data, go Isles." Thank you, Steven. So yes, Bo Horvat, I had totally missed this. Over his career now, at the age of 36, he scores his 500th career goal in the final game of the 2031 season in game number 1,295, and over the course of the year also surpassed 1,000 points. I had missed that, so thank you, Steven, for bringing it up. So incredible to see for the captain. Was it a home game, that last game of the year against the Panthers? Let me see game logs. Yes, it was. So his 1,000th goal comes in the last game of the season as captain at home in front of the home fans at UBS Arena. That is awesome. So, to begin the episode, David Jiricek wanting 8x14. I don't see that changing. It's already very high, but I don't think it's going to get any higher. His interest does go up if we lower it down to 6 years. So although he's asking for 8, he seems very interested in 6 as well, as 5 goes back down and 7, 8 goes back down. So if we were to try and give David Jiricek an 8-year deal with a a 6-year deal with a no-move clause, we'd probably have to be in the 13.2 range. 6x13 might be the best we could get, and that's even with a full no-move clause for 6 years, which is what I don't prefer, but I already experimented with it a little bit. Even if we went to a 90% no-trade clause or a deferred where it's no move for the first half, then a 29 no team for the last 3 years, it's just not the same as a full no-move clause in terms of his interest. So 6x13 might have to be what we end up sending to David Jiricek. Maybe we send it now. I don't think it's going to come down any more. I don't think it's going to go up, but I don't think it's going to come down anymore. So maybe we just send it and see what happens, just for our knowledge. You know what? Let's do it. David Jiricek, 6x13. It's way more than we thought we were going to have to pay for him, but he has shown himself to be worth it. For Landon Dupont, I was thinking more the 4-year range to keep him as an RFA earlier on in the season, but now that I see his 8-year demand with a no-move clause, which would only be for the last 3 years of the contract, he wouldn't be wanting crazy money compared to what he would be asking for in free agency, let's say. Like 8 years at 13.25 for a 21-year-old franchise defenseman who in his 3rd year scored 58 points with very high organizational interest as well. This might be the offer right here. 8 years on him, 13.25, only a no-move clause for the last 3 years of his deal when he's eligible for it. Maybe we can go down a little bit. 13.2, 8 years, 13.2 might be the deal. So $108 million. It's definitely costly. I don't want to play around with sending him lowball offers because his organizational interest is so high. I don't want that to get lower. But we do have him as an RFA. So would it be crazy to offer him 8x13 to start? I'm going to do that. 8x13 to start. If he doesn't like it, we can get to 13.5, whatever. I'm hoping it doesn't upset him too much. It's not a big low ball. It's 7 out of 10 bars. 8x13, similar to the Jiricek deal here. He's going to discuss it with his family. He'll get back to us. So Dupont and Jiricek would be eating up like 26 million between those two right there, leaving us with like 7 million left for Barzal, Dunn, and Horvat, which of course means Sorokin out at 8.25. We're back to 15 million, blah, blah, blah. Maybe Laine out too, most likely. We should be okay, but it doesn't mean that we like having to pay those dollar amounts. That being said, we move into round number 1 contre la Canadienne Montréal. C'est la première fois qu'on joue contre eux dans les séries éliminatoires. It's our first time against them in the playoffs. So let's see their lineup. Nick Suzuki, I remember he went to the Dallas Stars. So their first line here in Montreal in 2030-31 is Juraj Slafkovsky, Ivan Demidov, can't wait to see him in the real world in a couple days, not on TV that is, and Cole Caulfield on the right wing first line at 90 overall. Second line, Joshua Roy, Michael Hage, and Nathaniel Sidhu. Second overall pick in 2030. Third line, Jackson Jacobson, Owen Beck, and Philip Machar. Fourth line, Jackson Blake, Caleb Matthews, and Jakub Vrana. So when we look at the first line, 86, 89, 90 doesn't really grip me that much. 65 points from Slavkovsky, Demidov 65 points, and Caulfield was a 72 we saw before? Yeah, 72 from Cole Caulfield. But again, who knows what happens in the postseason? We can't underestimate anybody. Lane Hudson at a 92 overall had a 54-point season. He's on the top pair with Logan Mailloux. Second pair, Reinbacher with Sergei Lazarev. And third pair, Amico with Damon Severson. As the goaltending is 82 overall, Joshua Ravensbergen. 28, 29, and 5 on the season for him with a .901 save percentage and 3.21 goals against average, backed up by Nico Daws. You know, that means incoming back-to-back shutouts from him, and no injuries there in the scratches. There you go. So the Canadians are bottom 10 in all those stats you see on the right. Goals for, goals against, power play, penalty kill. They're bottom 10 in everything, but the postseason is a whole different dance. We can't take anything for granted. And as you always know, the length of this video is over an hour 20 in length, sometimes hour 25, sometimes hour 55. I try and mix it up so that nobody knows what my next move is. If it does end up that we lose early and it's just 45 or 60 minutes of a black screen, letting that run a little bit would be very good for the performance of the video, so I'd appreciate it. But if not, I understand. I just want everything to be unspoiled and you reacting with me as we go for this year number 7 postseason, game 1, round 1 against the Canadians. Bo, Barzal, Laine, Besser, all these older players who have one last run, at least this high in the lineup. Let's try and get that second cup in 3 years and continue proving to the league that we are for real. Cole Caulfield scores in the second shot of the night, and I forgot to mention Trey Augustine gets game 1, but hold on. Let me pause to actually speak my thoughts here. Trey Augustine gets game 1 because he was our starter down the stretch. He had more appearances. He had more wins. We're giving him game 1. Sorry, I never officially directly addressed this. Game 2, unless it's a fantastic performance, goes to Ilya Sorokin. Then game 3, we'll figure it out. So already that Augustine has let in 2 goals and 7 shots to begin here on home ice. Not great. So let's continue simming the whole first period, and we're down 3-1. So 3-0 Canadians. Don't make me snap now. Don't make me snap now. 3-0 Canadians early. Patrick Laine, the former Hab, gets us back in it. We're down by 2 heading in the second period, being outshot 14-11. Second period, 3-3. Yes, the captain, Bo Horvat, on the power play. And then Oliver Kapanen, also a former Hab, tying this game up. Shots now 29-20 in our favor. All right, first period scare. There's Fagemo, 4-3. 4-3 Islanders. I should have shown you the lines, actually. Fagemo up on that third line. 5-on-3 power play, 5-on-4. That's all killed off. Power play Canadians, we kill that as well. 1 goal lead with 8 minutes to go. Let's go finish it for the home fans. Fagemo with the go-ahead goal. Will it be the game winner? Power play Islanders killed off 90 seconds, and we hang on tight. Samuel Fagemo scores the game-winning goal. As the Canadians manage just, 2 shots in the third period? We outshoot them 41-22, and from down 3-0, we march back to win 4-3. Woo, good thing. Laine a goal and an assist. Fagemo the game winner. Bo Horvat a goal and 5 hits. Oh, okay, that was scary. 3 goals in the first 12 minutes, but then after that we hang on. We hold down the fort and hang on for the victory. 4-3 the final. Sorry, I didn't show you the lines. I was talking so much about contracts. Jiricek, not interested in extending my contract at this time. He wants more money. So Jiricek will probably wait until the offseason at this point. It'll be the same or cheaper, so may as well wait. Landon Dupont rejects. Salary is too low for me to consider properly. All right, so 8x13 is a no-no. Please tell me that the organizational interest has not tanked now. What a joke. Please tell me that it has not tanked. Please, please, please. Yes. Okay. So now, if we go back to 8 years, now we want 17.6? Yeah, so now we'll have to wait for the offseason just to play with the RFA. Come on! 8 by 14 point something he wanted. Now 8 by 17.6. Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding here? Even 1 year at almost 15, he would say no to that with interest? Okay. So now we know, not even lowball, you can't send an offer that you think might get rejected, or else the player's AI brain will just disintegrate. David Jiricek, meanwhile, we were looking at 6 years. He doesn't want 6 years anymore. He really wants the 7 years. Now he wants the 8 years. But 8 years, okay, no. Not even, extensions are off the table until the end of this episode. Okay, back to the lineup for game 2. So Samuel Fagemo continuing in his... No, I'm so sorry. I should have opened it up just to double check. I thought he was on the third line. So Fajimo scores on the fourth line. Thank you for doing so with your 6 minutes and 45 seconds of ice time. Welcome back to the third line. Belchatz will play fourth line. That's what he'll do. And the rest of the lineup stays exactly as it's always been. On defense, we already know Dupont, Jiricek, Sandin, Dunn, Pulock, Hornqvist. Pulock could be... We might see Boldzuk in here, but Pulock, for his last postseason, his last games as an Islander, perhaps, most likely. And Augustine, 3 goals on 22 shots, which wasn't horrible, but it was a really rough start. So, as I said, the plan was Sorokin Game 2, and then we'll make our decision moving into Game 3. Historically, if we go back, sorry, 1 second, Sorokin has been another beast in the postseason, especially the last couple of times he's had appearances. 2030, he did not play, but in 2029 and 2028, in 36 appearances, he went 19, 12, and 3, 2 shutouts, hovering around that close to that 920 save percentage, or 918.5 save percentage, and like 2.6 goals against average. But the same thing can be said of Trey Augustine, who's looked very good in the postseason as well, his last few opportunities. In the postseason, his whole career, 20 appearances, 14, 4, and 2 the last 3 postseasons, including this one now, we can add in. 3 shutouts, 915 save percentage, 2.45 goals against average. So that first game is out of the ordinary, but maybe he can bounce back. I don't know. Sorokin will get game 2, and we'll go from there. Here at home, after that big 4-goal comeback from down 3 goals, now we have game 2, and trying to hold that same momentum. First period, 4-3. Oh my goodness, it's a barn burner in the first period. 7 goals scored, as now we lead 3-0. Kapanen on the power play. Horvat even strength. Barzal even strength. Ravensbergen gets pulled. Michael Hage makes it 3-1. EISERMAN makes it 4-1, scoring the first on Nico Dawes. Then Verana and Caulfield score 2 goals in the final 5 minutes to now bring the Canadiens within 1. So 3-on-14 past Sorokin. We have 4-on-12 between their 2 goaltenders. From a 3-0 lead to now we're leading 4-3. That was the whole score of last game. Second period, 4-4. Owen Beck ties it. 4-on-21 past Sorokin, as now we're the team squandering the 3-0 lead. 4-4 game here in the third period. All comes down to these final 20 minutes. 7 goals in the first, 1 goal in the second. It's 8 goals through 40 minutes, and now things are getting more defensive in the third period. No scoring in the first half. Power play Canadiens killed off by the Islanders, but Owen Beck scores the go-ahead goal, the game-tying and the game-winning goal now, as Slavkovsky adds a power play. 6-on-30 past Sorokin, and he's a bum. His last start as an Islander, and we outshoot them 32-30 and lose 6-4. We score 4, but allow 6, as we choke a 3-0 lead and lose 6-4 to have this series now tied at 1. So Sorokin, that was probably his last game, and Jiricek has a sprained ankle. Oh my goodness, not out for long, but now that's not good either. Okay, so let's get to the lineup here. So now Augustine comes in, and Allmark is ready to go if ever needed. When we go to the defense, it will be top pair of Dupont and Dunn, as Sandin will play with Hornqvist, and Boldzuk will come and play with Pulock on the third pair, swapping them here, and there you go. And Boldzuk can replace Jiricek on those defensive lines and everything. He's not getting power play time anyway, so that's okay. Dunn, Dupont on the top pair with the +4. They've played together a lot already in their careers, and Jiricek should be back for Game 5, probably. You would think, yeah. So we split the games at home, and now we go on the road to the Bell Center. Oh, dans la belle province. Here we go for Game 3 in Montreal. It's a best of 5. And, you know, the Bell Center in postseason hockey is a different beast, so we have to really bring our A game. First period, 1-0 Islanders in the first. Bo, top 50 Horvat with 41 seconds left in the first period. The captain puts us up, outshooting the Canadiens almost by triple, 17-6. Second period, 1-0 it remains. Shots are 29-30, more than double in our favor. Bo Horvat scores his second at the end of the first and at the start of the third. Now 2-0 Islanders, both goals coming from the captain. Power play Canadiens killed off, and now there's Vrana on the power play as they get 1 power play marker. It's a 2-1 game. Shots 35-20 in our favor. Final 5 minutes, our 2 goals from Bo are holding us up, but 1 more would go a very long way. Final 2 minutes, 90 seconds, and we hang on for the 2-1 victory, outshooting the Canadiens 37-23. And Bo Horvat's 2 goals, of course, second star. I don't know why he can't get first star, but second star of the game. Ravensbergen, yeah, okay, fine, 35 saves, first star. And Trey Augustine, in a big bounce-back performance, says, I am the Emperor, this is my kingdom. 22 saves on 23 shots to get the dub, and to continue to be our starter for the rest of this series, most likely, you would think. All right, 2-1 victory to put us up 2-1 now. AHL season has come to an end. Down in Bridgeport, we went 41-26-5. Well done. Carpenter led the team with just 51 points. Okay. And Jiricek hopefully back for Game 6, for Game 5. But now time for Game 4 to take a 3-1 series lead over the Canadiens and to take both games on the road, which go a very, very long way. First period, Islanders power play early, which led to a Barzal power play goal, unless it was a different power play. Then Demidov scores his first of the series to tie it at 1 after 20. Second period, no scoring shots, 29-13 for the Isles. Outshooting the Canadiens like crazy the last 5 periods, but it's a 1-1 game headed into the third and final period. Damon Severson puts the Canadiens up 2-1. 2-1-15 past Augustine. Power play Habs. Killed off by the Isles. Come on, we just have 3 goals the last 6 periods now. 2 from Bo and 1 from Barzal. Can't be. There you go, 2-2. Wait, where am I? Where's the goal? Oliver Kapanen. Okay, that was some weird glitch. Sorry. Oliver Kapanen ties it at 2. Shots are 39-23 with now 3:35 to go. Do we have a hero later? Will we see overtime? Final 90 seconds, 30 seconds to go, and we will see the extra period. Shots end 40-24 for the Islanders. And you know what? With how horrible, yes, the AI has always been, but especially as of late, the last few episodes, I'm not going into the game unless it's an elimination game or a game of like very big importance. 2-1 series lead, yes, it's important, but I'm not going in to watch this train wreck of a game. So shots 40-24 through 60, overtime now. A goal for us, yes! I don't even have to give the whole speech. Cole Eiserman scores 37 seconds in. Either we go up 3-1 and are 1 game away from the second round, or it's a best of 3 as the Canadiens tie the series at 2. But no, Cole Eiserman plays hero on the first shot of overtime, and we take a 3-1 series lead now. Eiserman a goal and an assist with the game-winning goal. Kapanen a goal and an assist with the game-tying goal. And Demidov had 1 goal as well for third star honors. Wow, big comeback. But these games are way too tight against like the 20th seed Canadiens, who barely squeaked into the playoffs. We're just barely getting by with 1-goal victories. Now let's see if we can end the series in Game 5. Jiricek not back yet, so we'll go into it here at home at UBS Arena in front of the home fans to close it off and make it a second-round berth. Come on, let's finish it here, not letting the Canadiens back in for a second. It's been way too tight. First period, 1-0 Isles. Cole Eiserman picking up where he left off from overtime. Second period, Matty Barzal, power play goal. Shots are tied at 22, and it's a 2-goal lead in the third and final period, but Oliver Kapanen makes it 3-0 now, and 4 from Ryan Pulock. That should put it to bed. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be moving on to the second round once again. I'm not sure how many years in a row that is now. I have to check the files in a second. Power plays on both sides go nowhere as we continue to lead 4-0 in the final 5 minutes. The Canadiens give us a little bit of a scare, but we take them down in round 1. And Trey Augustine ends it off with a 27-save shutout. How do you do? As we outshoot the Canadiens 40-27 to eliminate them in 5 games. Augustine first star. Kapanen a goal, an assist, and 6 hits. And Eiserman had a goal and an assist as well. Whoo! All right, off to round number 2. We made it. Jiricek will be healthy. Okay. Whoo, boy. So that now makes it 4 years in a row that we've won our round 1 matchup and moved on to at least round 2. But it's the first time in the last 5 years that our round 1 matchup has not gone to 6 or 7 games. Either we win or lose. We win in 5. It's the first series that has been that short, so that's great. Keep us rested. Through those 5 games, Cole Eiserman leads the way. 3 goals, 2 of them game winners, and 7 points, leading the team right there. Well done. Oliver Kapanen has 4 goals and 6 points. Bo Horvat, 4 goals and 5 points. Barzal, and even Vince Dunn also with 5. Nice. Line A3, also same for Martone and Besser. No goals from Brock Besser. Pulock with 2 points. Ralph Pricing with 2 points. Bolduc had that goal in Game 1 and nothing after that. Okay. But it's not like Belchetz is really pushing him out. Bolduc 1 assist in 3 games. Zupon just 1 assist in 5 games. Cousins just 1 assist in 5 games. Sandin, same thing. Belchetz 1 assist plus 2. Hornqvist 1 assist, -1. And Jiricek was a -1 in the 2 games that he played. Arcuri, no points. So a lot of players with just 1 point who did a lot more in the season. Fagemo, Cousins. Yeah. And the top end led by that second line, Eiserman and Kapanen linking up very well. While the goaltending, Trey Augustine 4-0, 4 games, 4 wins, 1 shutout, .938 save percentage, and 1.5 goals against average. He will be the guy moving into round number 2, as Sorokin likely had his last game as an Islander. Not something serious changes there. But now let's rest up and get ready for round number 2. Jiricek will be coming back from his injury in the day. There he is. So I'll get him back in the lineup, and then we'll keep on simulating towards the beginning of round 2. Rest up, enjoy time with the family. way. Keep on training hard, and let's keep that eye of the tiger. All right, here we go for round number 2, where we will be facing off against the New Jersey Devils. So the Devils and the Rangers were facing off in round 1. We were ready for another Battle of New York, but the Devils took down the Rangers. That's not going to happen. It was a 6-game series. The underdog Devils beat the Rangers, and now it'll be Islanders versus Devils, Panthers versus Red Wings in the East, Jets versus Sharks, and Canucks versus Kings in the West. Whoo, boy. All right, let's check out their lineup. We definitely have a history with the Devils, as this is the 3rd time we faced them in the second round over the last 4 years. 3 years ago, we beat them in 7 on our way to the Stanley Cup Final, and last year we swept them in 4 on our way to losing in the Eastern Conference Final. But we're 2-0 against them in our last 2 second-round matchups, and we faced them again in a second-round matchup. Here in New Jersey, Bratt, Hughes, and Mercer as their top line. My goodness, 89 overall, Dawson Mercer with 6 points and 5 X factors, 70 points on the season. Jack Hughes, 5 points in 6 games, 114-point season. And Jesper Bratt has 4 goals, 6 points in 6 games as he scored 103 points this year. Wow. Second line, Kevin Fiala, Nico Hischier, and Timo Meier. So that top 6 is all between 86 and 93 overall. That is a scary, scary top 6. 63 points from Timo plus 6 goals in 6 games. Nico Hischier has 10 points in 6 games and an 87-point season. And Kevin Fiala also 8 points in 6 games with a 63-point season. Third line, Rasmus Kupari, Alex Turcotte, and Warren Lee, 87 overall grinder, 3rd overall pick. I forgot about this guy. Yes, Warren Lee. And the fourth line, Akil Thomas, Zach Dean, and Giovanni Smith. So the bottom 6 doesn't really stand out aside from Warren Lee, where that's a big standout. And the top 6 is elite, possibly the best in the NHL. On defense, Luke Hughes is on the top pair with Simon Nemec, 90 overall, 5 points in 6 games, 45 on the season. Simon Nemec, 1 assist plus 1, 87 overall. Second pair, Brett Pesce with Tanner Molendyk, and third pair, Ville Heinola with Henry Jokiharju. Goaltending, it is 88 overall Vitek Vanacek, wow, who went 36, 21, and 4 on the season with 6 shutouts, backed up by 83 overall Graham Bell. And Shea Theodore is injured as an 84 overall defenseman. Carson Lambos and Cale Fleury also here as healthy scratches. So yeah, that is a scary good Devils team. They went 46, 28, and 8 on the season. They finished the year going 5, 4, and 1. They beat the Rangers in a 6-game series. But that was a very close, these were 2 very close teams. That's why we really wanted to not have to finish second, because we didn't want to face either the Rangers or the Devils in round 1. So the 48-win Rangers lost to the 46-win Devils. Whew, boy, and now here we are facing off against them in a round 2 matchup. We've had their number in recent history, but it's not going to be an easy matchup at all. If we thought the Canadiens were easy, we got to make sure that Augustine is still at his best. We need some more scoring, not just from the second line. Defense has to stand tall. And the one thing I'm changing to the lineup is that with David Jiricek back, I want to keep Vince Dunn on that top line, that top pair with Landon Dupont. Dunn had 5 points in 5 games. He did very well. He's a +4. Maybe that continues. Let's have a little bit of spreading of the wealth, and Jiricek can play second pair with Rasmus Sandin. So now here we go for game 1 of round 2 against the Devils. As you can see on the right, they're the highest scoring team in the postseason through round 1. They are 100% on the penalty kill as well. We know that it's going to be a tough matchup. We are ready to face that task. Here we go. First period, home ice advantage, 0-0 after 20, doubling the shots 12-6. Now second period action, it's 1-0 Devils. Jack Hughes on the power play. Nothing on 26 past Vitek Vanacek through 40 minutes. Third period now, and it's 2-0 Dawson Mercer, the top 6 for the Devils. We need our scorers to come through, or else we're going to start making some changes in that top 6. The players are the players, but the combinations don't seem to be clicking. 0 goals from Brock Boeser through 6 games now, if he can't get anything tonight. Final 5 minutes, and the 88 overall, somehow Vitek Vanacek, will shut us out on 41 shots. As they score 2 on 22. We can't get anything past him on double the amount of shots. Oh my goodness, we limit them to 2, we can't get any ourselves. No, we can't let that happen. Embarrassing game 1 on home ice to be shut out against the Devils. Vitek Vanacek, waiver wire in the real world. He's going to be an 88 overall here. Okay, so Brock Boeser not scoring anything. Porter Martone not scoring anything. So Barzal, you're going to go to the right. EISERMAN's coming up to the top line. And Patrick Lining's going to go here, yeah. Martone, you're going to put him on the third line. We're going to go Boeser, Kapanen, Laine, Fagemo, Cousins, Martone. And if Martone complains because he has a promise in his contract of playing top 6 because it's going to be 1 game we're on the third line in the name of trying to win a Stanley Cup, then this game's broken. But it hasn't happened yet. So a little change in the even strength top 9. Now let's move into game 2, trying to get the scoring jump-started here. Sometimes that's all we need. Augustine, you're doing well. Keep going. Limiting them to 2 was great. But where are the goals? Game 2 in front of the home fans. This is, in my opinion, a must-win. First period, 1-0. Cole Eiserman up in that top line. There he is. 1-0 Isles after 20. Second period now, 3-1 Islanders. Dawson Mercer ties it, and then Kapanen scores the first power play goal against the Devils through 7 postseason games. And then Patrick Laine up on the second line makes it 3-1. Okay, 2-1 lead, not done yet. There's Brock Besser, the 35-goal man, or 33, whatever it was, scores his first of the postseason in 7 games. Bratt makes it a 2-goal game, but then Landon Dupont extends our lead back to 3. 5-2 Islanders, power play now. That'll be enough to tie this series up. But 1, I hope. 5-3, 2-goal lead with 8 minutes to go. Devils are pushing in the final 3 minutes now, but like I said, that should be enough as we win 5-3. Make it 6-3 as Dupont adds an empty netter. Shots end 43-29. Back-to-back games of over 40 shots against the Devils. Goal and 2 assists from Besser on the third line now. A goal and 2 assists from Kapanen, centering that second line with Laine now on his... And actually, Laine and Besser. Yeah, 2 new wingers. And Landon Dupont with 2 goals, including the empty netter. Okay, 6-3 win. I'm back in better spirits after that one. It's a 1-1 series, now a best of 5. Moving to Prudential Center, not too far away, in New Jersey here against the Devils. On the road, where we finally broke through their power play. We've been holding down their scoring. 3 goals against, 2 goals against. It's not... 1-0, but 2-3 is doable if we can keep scoring 4, 5, 6, whatever. All right, first period on the road, and the Devils open up the scoring. Ville Heinola with the lone goal in the first period as the Devils are being outshot 13-10. Second period, 4-1. It was 4-0 before Fagemo answered. Nico Hischier, Giovanni Smith, and Jack Hughes make it 4-0 New Jersey before Fagemo on the third line stops the bleeding a little bit. Shots 27-22 in our favor. But once again, Vanacek is showing up as we're down by 3 here in the third period. We need that new top 9 to get going. Ethan Belchetz makes it 4-2 as he scores down on the fourth line with some life. Powerplay Devils is killed off. Come on, down by 2. We have a little bit of momentum here. We're on pace to hit 40 shots again. David Yurchuk on the second pair defense. Powerplay Devils. Yes! Shorthanded goal from the captain, but then a powerplay goal from Bratt. We're back to down by 1. 5 minutes ago, another 40-shot affair. Kevin's got one more. Yes! Arcuri on the fourth line. Thank you, Bello. The Italian, 5-5. What a third period as we score 4 goals. Shorthanded from Bo to tie it. Bratt on the power play put them back ahead. Then Arcuri. And also a goal from Belchetz. 2 from the fourth line. Shots are 42-36. Tied 5-5. Through 60 minutes. This is a game where I'd love to go into overtime, but again, I can't bring myself to do it until it's a game that means more. As much as every game is important in the postseason, I can't bring myself to do it. So 5-5 game, huge 4-goal third period, a goal for whoever scores next puts their team up 2-1 in this series. Overtime action here in game 3. Who will be the hero? Shots are pretty even now. The Devils are coming back as we continue to pull away. It's our third consecutive 40-plus shot game against Vanacek. He's making miracles out there. Power play Islanders killed off by the Devils. Huge chance. 5 minutes to go here in the first overtime, and the Islanders win it! Cole Eiserman once again plays hero. 2 overtimes, 2 game-winning goals from Cole Eiserman. Shots end 50-43. It took us 50 shots, but we win Game 3. What a comeback from a 4-goal third period. A goal and 2 assists from the captain. A goal and an assist from Eiserman. 3 assists from Kevin Fiala led the way for the Devils. Let's take a look at the entire team log here. 2 points from Dunn, Eiserman, and Pricing. Plus minuses, -3 from Kapanen and Besser. Whoa, and the second line did not look good at all. While the Devils, Fiala 3 points. It was much more spread out, I suppose. A lot of 1-pointers. And -3s from them as well for Turcotte, Lee, Heinola, Jokiharju, -2s. Wow, 6-5 win. Don't like allowing 6, but allowing 5, but back-to-back games of scoring 6 goals, although one did include an empty netter. Whew, 2-1 lead now in this series. Boy, is there anything to change in this lineup? We score 6, but we allow 5. Belchetz and Arcuri had a huge performance there. Eiserman, 3 of his 5 are game winners, I think, right? If you look at the playoff stats, 3 out of 5 goals are game winners. Horvat's been a machine. Matty Barzal, 7 points. Second line, Besser, just 1 goal, but 6 points. Kapanen, 9 points. Laine, 5. Fajmo with his 2 goals. Cousins just 1 assist in 8 games. Martone 4 assists. Maybe we swap Belchet's back. That 1 goal, maybe he's trying to say, hey, no one's stepping up on that third line. Allow me to do so. So Ethan Belchet's, I'll put you there with Cousins and Martone. Big side, 6'5", 6'3", and 6'3". Big boy third line. Defense, Dunn is at 7 assists in 8 games plus 6. I'm going to keep him there. Yerchek had a big goal. Yeah, we're going to keep it like that. And the numbers now on Augustine are 916 save percentage, 2.2 goals against average. Okay, Game 4 now with a 2-1 series lead. Huge effort is the word I'm looking for to win 6-5 there against the Devils. Now let's keep it rolling. Don't let that crazy overtime win be squandered. Let's keep on pushing, make it a 3-1 series lead, which would go a very long way to giving us a little bit of a cushion against the best team that we've seen in a while, I think, in the postseason. Dawson Mercer opens it up early, 1-0 Devils after 20 shots, 12-8 in our favor. They scored in the first 3 minutes, and that's the lone goal of the period. Second period now, 3-2 Isles. There's a huge comeback. Kapanen shorthanded, and Ralph Pricing scores twice. That fourth line continues to perform, even with Belchet's now gone. Pricing, then Lee on the power play, then Pricing again. 3-2 Isles. Shots are 26-18. A shorthanded goal and 2 from the fourth line. Are those Pricing's first career playoff goals even? Make it 3-2. Power play Devils here in the third period. That's killed off. 1 goal lead. We probably won't hit 40 shots this game with now through the first half of the third period with that 1 goal lead still intact. But Jack Hughes ties it into the final 5 minutes. Is there a hero late? Or will we see overtime again? Back-to-back games of overtime. Shots end 37-34. Maybe we will hit 40 shots now. 3-3 game. A goal for the Islanders will put us up 3-1 and be 1 win away from a 4th consecutive Eastern Conference final. But a goal for the Devils would tie the series at 2 and make it a best of 3. Here we go. Overtime here in New Jersey. Last game, it almost went to double overtime, and the Islanders win it again! Matty Barzal, 4-3 Islanders. The veteran comes through. Not Cole EISERMAN this time. We're now 3 for 3 in overtimes when we watch the sim and not go into the sim. Shots end, yes, 40-34. Another 40-shot affair as Matty Barzal up in that first line plays hero. Ralph Pricing scores twice. He's probably the hero of this one. And you wouldn't think it, but that is now a 3-1 series lead for the Islanders, and these have been incredibly tight games. We've been holding back a lot of their top scorers who we saw in that, and when we were checking out their line, especially their second line scorers. And that's gone a very long way in this series. Wow, wow, wow. 3-1, but the job is not done yet. Ralph, let's check him out, if this could be any slower. Ralph Pricing, his first 2 goals of the postseason come in the same game. And actually, he had 3 and 15 last year. I forgot about that. Okay. So, there you go. Shooting 11.4% in the playoffs in his career, but 8.6% in the regular season in his career. So, another one of those guys that just love the playoffs. 7 points in 9 games from the fourth liner. Arcuri has 3. Fajmo has 2. Belchet's didn't do anything in that last game. All right. Okay. Let's roll into Game 5 now with this 3-1 series lead with a chance to end it and book our ticket to a 4th consecutive Eastern Conference final. These are dynastic type things. Just dynasty things. Here we go for the first period, back at home in front of the fans at UBS Arena. First period, 1-0 Devils. Kevin Fiala opens up the scoring, shots tied at 9. Second period, 1-1 it remains. Shots now 18-14 for the Devils. Is this the first time we finally don't hit 40 shots? It might just be. As we're down 1-0 through 40 minutes, who's going to be the one to tie it here in the third? In front of the home fans who are pushing their team to go all the way. Power play Devils, 5-on-3, 5-on-4. Huge kills here, and then Jack Hughes scores as the power play expires. We killed off like 6 minutes of power play. But now Vanecek's going to come back. This is the old Vanecek that we were scared of. There you go. All right, so Martone scores 1. We're down by 2 with 4 to go. Hold on, Patrick Laine, power play goal. Ready to throw in the towel. Final minute. Oh, we almost had the comeback. 2 goals in the final 5 minutes from Martone and Laine there. But the Devils hang on with the 3-2 victory. Now make it a 3-2 series. Martone first star somehow. What? Vanecek makes 25 saves for the second star. Okay. Oh, man. So another 1-goal game, though, in this series. Another one. And Vanecek stole it for them. Yeah, makes sense. As we will now head to Game 6. A win for us puts us through the Eastern Conference Final. A goal for the Devils will see us back on Long Island for a Game 7 matchup. We beat them in 7 the first time. We swept them in 4 the second time. Can we beat them in 6, or will it be another Game 7 opportunity against the Devils? here in this third time that we see them in our franchise mode series. Game 6 in New Jersey. Here we go. First period, 1-1 game. Bo Horvat, haven't said his name in a little while. He opens up the scoring, and Alex Turcotte ties it soon after. Second period, Jiricek scores just 53 seconds in, and then Patrick Laine on the power play. It's 3-1 Islanders. Let's sim through the second period, which ends 5-2 Isles. Power play goal for Kapanen. Ralph Pricing, who is this guy? A regular even strength goal from him, then a power play goal with 15 seconds left in the period for Nico Hischier, as we are now leading 5-2. Shots are 24-17 in our favor. We have a 3-goal lead. Just 20 minutes. Hang on to the 3-goal lead for 20 minutes, or add to it. Power play Islanders killed off by the Devils, and there's Kupari making it a 2-goal game now. 5 minutes into the third. 5-3 Isles. Power play Devils. There's Timo Meier. It's now a 1-goal game. The 3-goal lead quickly falling apart. We need someone to get a 6th here. We need that touchdown. 5 minutes to go. Will we see? No, Akil Thomas ties it at 5, but Brock Besser, a rare goal from him, might be the winner, and the Islanders win 6-5. For a 4th consecutive year, your New York Islanders are off to the Eastern Conference Final, a top 2 team in the East 4 years running, as Brock Besser, against Bell as Vanacek got pulled, scores just his 2nd goal of the postseason, and it's the game winner in round 2, as shots end 34-27, and we win 6-5. Another 1-goal game as we stave off the 3rd period collapse. Besser and Laine, 1st and 2nd stars respectively, with a goal and 2 assists apiece, with that 6-5 victory coming through for us. Wow, wow, wow. Whew, take a breath after that one. And as you can see on the right, we'll be facing the Florida Panthers in the conference final, as it will be Winnipeg versus Vancouver, all Canadian matchup in the West. So there will be a Canadian team represented in the 2031 Stanley Cup Final. No rest for the wicked here. We were the longest series. All the 3 other series all went to 5 games. Ours went to 6, and now we'll face Florida in the Eastern Conference Final. Let's take a pause, check out the stats. Here in the playoff tree, the Panthers took down the Hurricanes in 7 games in round 1, and then the Red Wings in 5 games in round 2. And now we'll face the Panthers again. We played against them in the Eastern Conference Final 2 years ago, and we beat them in 7 games on our road to the Stanley Cup Final, and where we beat the Winnipeg Jets to win the Stanley Cup. The Jets are still out here as well. Could history repeat itself? We'll find out. As I believe we were down 3-2 in that series 2 years ago in the Eastern Conference Final. Am I remembering that correctly? And then we ended up winning in Game 7, went on to the Cup Final, and swept Winnipeg to win our first Stanley Cup of this series. Yes. All right, so through 11 games in 2 rounds, Cole EISERMAN is leading the way with 14 points, 3 game-winning goals. Incredible. Oliver Kapanen and Bo Horvat, both with 11 points in 11 games. Kapanen making his case to say, I'm ready for first-line center responsibilities next season. Love it. Brock Besser, 2 goals, both game winners, shooting at just 4.4%. I don't get it. He shot at 15.6% last postseason. He shot at 10.7% on the season, 12% in his career, and now he is just in a huge drought at 4.4%. Patrick Laine, 4 goals, 9 points. Vince Dunn, 9 points and a +6, so I'm going to keep him on that top pair, sure. Matty Barzal, 8 and 11 with a -1. Ralph Pricing, 8 points in 11 games, playing 824 of ice time. With that low elite potential, yes, he's 24, but I don't know, could he grow to maybe see the 3rd line? I don't know. Dupont, 8 points +5 in 11 games. He's really doing well in the second pair, actually. Porter Martone, 5 points, just 1 goal in 11 games. Belchetz with 4, he had an assist recently. Jiricek, 3 points +4 in 8 games. Pollock, 3 points, -1. Arcuri, 3 points +2. Cousins, 3 points, -1. Fatimo, just 2 goals in the 11 games played. Sandin, 2 assists. Bolduc, 1 assist in 3 games. Hornqvist, 1 assist, -3. Thomas Hornqvist, come on. Should the rookie come out for Sam Bolduc? That's an idea. That's an idea. Now looking at the goaltending, the Emperor, Trey Augustine, is 8-2 with 1 shutout, a .904 save percentage, and 2.62 goals against average. He got roughed up by New Jersey a little bit, but with that high-octane offense, I think we can definitely excuse it. And now we'll get ready for the Florida Panthers. Let's see what they look like. On the right side, we can see that they are scoring slightly more than us at 3.83 versus our 3.73 here in the playoffs. Goals against, slightly better as well at 2.92. Their power play, well, we're first at 30.8. They're 9th through among the 16 teams that made the postseason at 18.5. Penalty kill, neither of us are great. We're at 74.2. Eesh. We should probably do something about that, yeah. And they're at 79.3. And Matthew Tkachuk leads their point scoring with 17 points. You know what? Let's make a little change to the penalty kill. I think Ethan Belchetz is still out here, right? Hold on. Let's make some changes here. So the first unit, I don't know, we've been doing very well, so I won't change it. But that second unit, where Belchet's is getting ice time and not doing anything. Martone's doing nothing. Cousins is doing nothing. It's all Yzerman and Kapanen. Let's play the hot hand. Let's put the hot hand out there. Do we put Ralph Pricing, perhaps? You know what? Yes. I'm tempted to put Fajmo because of what he did in the season, though. Pricing also has just the 2-star, the 1.5-star skating. 3.5-star shooting. Fajmo with the 4-star. Let's go Fajmo. Let's not go too crazy here. Let's go Fajmo instead of Belchet's. And then on the penalty kill, we'll keep Kapanen and Martone. No, we're going to go Kapanen and somebody new. Second, Horvat Barzal I'm going to keep. Third, Cousins Belchet's. This is going to be now Cousins and Martone. And on that first unit, you know who has had success in the past? Brock Besser's had a lot of success in the past. We took him off now at the age of 34. Maybe we put him back. Brock Besser's had a lot of success in the past playing on our penalty kill. So let's give him some more ice time there as he's averaging 1902. He'll now play first unit with Oliver Kapanen. And he fits it. He gives it the +2. Let's give that a try. All right, now looking at the Panthers, no, not their scoring, sorry, their lineup. Florida Panthers. So here we go. Matthew Tkachuk, 94 overall with 17 points in 12 games. Alex Barkov, 89 at 35 years old. And Sam Reinhart at a 90, also at 35. He has Reinhart 14 points in 12 games, and Barkov just 5 goals, 8 points in 12 games. Second line, Verhaeghe, Lundell, and Samoskevich, 88, 88, 85. Third line, Tyler Toffoli. We were thinking about him from the Sharks, and ended up that the Panthers acquired him. So Toffoli, Sharangovich, and Burakovsky on the third line. Lizotte, Glass, and Bobby Brink on the fourth. Defense is Gustav Forsling with Adam Boqvist. Ooh. Second pair, Wieland with Ekblad. Third pair, Radish with Liljeberg. Forsling, what's he up to? He has just 3 points +2, okay? And Adam Boqvist, Mr. Offensive Defenseman, 5 points +6. Goaltending-wise, it is 88 overall. Spencer Knight, still here in this universe in Florida. 914 save percentage, 2.87 goals against average. Backed up by former Islander Ivan Fedotov, as the scratches are just scratches. No injuries for this Panthers team. How's the second line doing? Verhaeghe, 4 goals, 10 points. Lundell, 10 points. Samoskevich, just 5 points. All right, it's a strong Panthers squad that went 47, 28, and 7 on the year. The 6th best team in the NHL. They won their division. They were 3rd best in the East. And now we face off against them 1 versus 3 in the Eastern Conference to see who's going to make it to the Stanley Cup Final. Can we make it a 3rd Cup Final in the last 4 years? It all starts now for Game 1 of the 2031 Eastern Conference Final against the Panthers, hosting them at home. Let's do it. First period, 1-0 Isles, and that's Bo Horvat on the power play. We're being outshot 13-6, but the power play continues to perform. Second period now, 3-3 game. Reinhart ties it. Besser puts us back up. Wieland ties it. Martone puts us back up. Lundell ties it. 3-3 game after 40. We're being outshot 24-15, but we're holding our own with 3 goals. Martone on that third line, Besser on that second line. Good. The line changes have been doing something. We're all tied up moving into the third period. After the lead that we had, back and forth game, power play, Panthers, it's killed off by those penalty killers. Very good. Final half of the third period. Next goal might be enough to get a win for the team here. Power play Isles, and there it is, Bo Horvat with his second. Will that be enough if the shots are 34-21? We're being bombarded. Augustine standing tall. Bo's go-ahead goal will be enough for the victory. Power play winner. Both his goals coming on the power play tonight. Shots end 37-24, but the Emperor stands tall, protecting his dynasty. 2 goals from Horvat, a goal and 2 assists from Besser, 2 assists from Laine, and that's the Islanders team that we love to see. The captain leads by example and is the reason that we win that game. He is the reason that we win that game. Thank you, Bo Horvat. 1-0 lead in this series. Moving to game 2. Still on home ice advantage. And let's keep on rolling. No reason to stop there. Let's keep the party going. First period. And it's 2-0 Isles. Martone and Kapanen here in the first period. Second period. 5-0. Martone and Kapanen again. And then it's Ralph Pricing. This guy's crazy. Martone and Kapanen with 2 goals apiece after Martone was so quiet for so long. Finally, and Kapanen ready for those first-line center responsibilities. Dylan Cousins gets the touchdown for us, and it's his first goal of the entire postseason. His first career postseason goal as well. Here's he's playing his first, after never making the dance with the Buffalo Sabres in his career. His first career postseason goal to make it 6-0, and that'll put it to bed as Trey Augustine completes the 27-save shutout, and the Isles win 6-0. 36-27 shots in our favor. Martone scores twice. Augustine the shutout. Kapanen 2 goals. But the storyline in this one, of course, Dylan Cousins finally, after how many years in his career, over 10 years later in his career, pulling a Jeff Skinner, scores his first career playoff goal at long last. All right. Whew, he wasn't used to the playoffs, but now he has a goal and, 3 assists? Okay, all right. And we'll take a 2-0 series lead to Amerant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida, with the 2-0 series lead, trying to make it 3. That would go a very long way, but the Panthers need to stop the bleeding here on home ice in front of their fans, and they're going to come out as hot as they've been, I think. We got to be prepared for that. First period, 2-0 Panthers after being shut out last game. They score 2 on 9, and it's the captain scoring twice. Barkov scores 2 goals within 12 seconds in the first 3 minutes of this game. And Samuel Fagemo, finally, there you go, a little bit of life. Pricing's going to be pushing him out of the third line spot for next year. Shots 12-9 after 20 in our favor. Down 2-1, now down 3-1. Reinhardt and 4-1 Tkachuk. Yeesh. 4 on 21 past Augustine after his 27 save shutout last game. We're out shooting them 27-21, but down by 3. We need something quick here in this third period. Nope. Toffoli makes it 5-1. And that'll be all she wrote. So we'll have a 2-1 series lead headed to Game 4. Ethan Belschutz has some life, making it a 3-goal game. But too little, too late as we outshoot the Panthers by quite a bit. Actually, now they're coming back. We got a lot of shots on net, though. But after Augustine had his big performance last game, Knight has his big performance this game. Dupont scoring in the final 4 minutes, but not enough, as we get 3 on 43, but they get 5 on 37, as we drop this one by a score of 5-3 the final. Reinhardt, Barkov, Tkachuk. The first line came through for the Panthers, as it should. Now a 2-1 series in our favor. Let's try and split the games on the road and take a 3-1 series lead back home, but it's not done yet. Nothing's a guarantee. As I'm just looking at the rankings on the right here, the penalty kill has gotten a little bit better, it looks like. Was it 74%? Could it be? Now it's at 78? Okay, good. Power play 33.3. We're scoring on a third of all of our power plays. Awesome. So I don't think we'll change up anything else. Maybe moving in... Well, it depends how this game goes. I'm at the point where I'm kind of thinking about a couple things in mind, but if we can get a big win here to go up 3-1, that would go a long way. So here we go for Game 4 in Florida. First period, 1-0 Panthers. Sam Reinhart on the power play. Come on, bounty kill. Second period, 2-1, goal apiece. Cole EISERMAN ties up, then Reinhart scores his second, and his third in 2 games now? Shots are tied at 24, but we're down 2-1. There's a goal from our first line, Cole EISERMAN, but we need to see some more from that top 9. Let's go! Cole EISERMAN scores again! He'll do it all himself! 2-2 game power play. Panthers killed off. Well done. 5 minutes into the third, can we please go up 3-1? Anton Lundell makes it 3-2 Panthers. Power play, Florida killed off. We're taking too many penalties. Even if we kill them off, we're taking too many penalties. Final 7 minutes. Yes, Oliver Kapanen. It's just the Kapanen and EISERMAN show. Burakovsky answers back 4-3. One more late final 90 seconds. Burakovsky wins it for the Panthers. Shots end 40-34. And we lose 4-3. Reinhardt twice, EISERMAN twice. Oh, we should have had that one. We really should have had that one. Is there anything that stands out now if we go and look at the lineup? If I go and just take a little peek at who's doing what. EISERMAN just a monster. 17 points. Horvat, Barzal, 10 points. Besser, 3 goals, but 11 assists for 14 points. Kapanen, 10 goals. And Line A, 4 goals, 9 assists. Do we promote someone? Belschutz has 7 points. Cousins a goal and 6 assists. Martone 4 goals, 4 assists. Does Martone now come back and swap with Line A, perhaps? Ralph Pricing, does he get a spot in the third line? Arcuri 5 points, Fagemo 4 points. I don't know if anybody in the top 9 gets demoted to the fourth line, but let's swap Martone and Line A. And on defense here, Dunn 11 assists plus 9. Dupont 11 points plus 7. Sandin 3 assists plus 3. Yurchek 5 points plus 4. Pulick, Hornqvist 1. Yeah, so Hornqvist, we're going to take out Hornqvist for Boltzuk. We're going to do that for the third pair defense. And goaltending, of course, still Trey Augustine. And I said it earlier on that we weren't going to think about extensions until the end of this episode, and we will. But I'm curious if the demands have changed. That's all I'm curious about. Do you still want 8 by... No, he wants 8 by 15 now instead of 7 by 17 or whatever. So you know what? 8 by 17 with the full no move clause. I said we wouldn't do this, but maybe now's the time to pounce on the opportunity. That's still full bar interest. Hold on a second. How far can we go down? We could maybe even get below 30. We were offering him 8 by 13, and that was 7 bars of interest. Can Landon Dupont now, would he consider 12.5? Let's send him 12.5. We offered him 8 by 13, and that was 7 out of 10 bars. Now I'm going to offer him 8 by 12.5. Maybe we could get even lower, but I think this is a fair offer for him, and we save $500K. than what we were previously offering. So the AI brain has changed something in him. Let's offer that. Dupont, 8 by 12.5 in the middle of this Eastern Conference Final. You want to sign that deal? Think about it. That would be really something. Good thing I just went to take a little peek. And Jiricek, you still want 7 by 14 or whatever? Yes. And yeah, he still wants 7 for 8 years. Gets the most. Yeah, nothing has changed on David Jiricek. Nothing has changed on him. Even with a full no-move clause, doesn't do much. Yeah, so nothing has really changed on Jiricek. We have to go even 8 years. We wanted 6 years. No, yeah. We'll have to wait on him. But good to see on Dupont. I guess while we're here, we could also take a little peek on Barzal, just what he's asking for. He wants 4 by 12, which would be really tough. Dunn wanted like 2 by 5 point something. Now he wants 1 by 5.9. I wonder if we could get him down further. We won't do it yet, but even with a no-move clause for 1 year, we get him even below 5 million probably. Yeah, so keep that in mind. And Bo, what are you looking at right now? He wants 1 by 6. Yeah, we'll keep on waiting. But Dupont, that could be a blessing at 8 by 12.5. All right, here we go with a 2-2 series on our hands. It's a best of 3 to see who's going to make it to the Stanley Cup Final as the representative of the Eastern Conference. Back on home ice at UBS Arena. Here we go. First period, 2-1 Panthers early. Tkachuk on the power play, then Barkov even strength. Brock Besser scores very shortly after, 34 seconds later. But we're down 2-1. Meal shot by double. Second period, 3-2 goal apiece. Sharon Govich made it 3-1. Then Barzal 40 seconds later makes it 3-2. But then nothing in the last 17 minutes. Shots are 29-16 for Florida. And we're down by 1 here in the third. We need something from that top 6, top 9. Cole Eiserman, who else but Cole? Thank you. Tying the game at 3. Now don't squander it. Power play Florida. Power play Islanders. Power play Florida. Back and forth ping pong power plays. Killed off for everybody. Final 5-ish minutes now. Panthers really pulling away in the shots, but we're hanging on for all we have. Final 90 seconds, and we'll see overtime. Shots are 40-27 through regulation for the Panthers. I'd want to go in and see it, but we're 3 for 3 on the overtimes now. I'm going to say let's stay in the slow sim. So overtime, we've had 2 from Yzerman, 1 from Barzal. Next team to score, next player to score will put their team up 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Final. Game 5 overtime. Here we go. We got to hope that we can go 4 for 4. And we do! The Islanders win it! Of course it's Cole Yzerman! 4-3 Islanders win it! Shots end 40-30 for the Panthers, but we hang on tight. Cole, Mr. Overtime Yzerman, scores his 3rd overtime winner of the postseason. 3 out of 4 have gone to Cole. We're 4 for 4 in overtime in the slow sim. Yzerman 2 goals and an assist. Barzal a goal and 3 assists. Horvat 2 assists. And the Islanders win 4-3 to now be 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Final. Huge, another 1-goal game between the Devils and now the Panthers. So many 1-goal games. And Dupont accepts the offer enthusiastically. Awesome. 8 by 13 embarrassing. 8 by 12.5 a few weeks later. Thank you so much. So that's a big weight off our shoulders. One of the many weights that we have on our shoulders for this off season. We will now have, what, 21.58 million. But plus Sorokin, who makes, what does he make again? 8.25. So that would be 29.83, just under 30 million for Jiricek, Barzal, Dunn, Horvat. So in the worst case scenario, if Jiricek does cost like 14 million, that leaves 15.83 for Barzal, Dunn, Horvat. If Barzal costs, he wants 12, I don't know. Horvat's definitely staying. He'll cost something around, let's say 5.75. That would leave 10.08 for Dunn and Barzal, if we're keeping both. Maybe Line A leaving, that gets it back up to 18 million. It's a delicate offseason ahead, but I think we'll be all right, as I've said a few times. But getting Dupont for 12.5 instead of 13, saving 500K, and he's super happy about it, that goes a long way. All right, back to our regularly scheduled postseason here at Amerant Bank Arena with a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Final. So many finals in my head. To be the winners of the Eastern Conference Final and represent the Eastern Conference at the Stanley Cup Final for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. Here we go. First period, 2-2 after 20. Barkov scores. Cole Yzerman scores twice! This is crazy! He is the story of the postseason! The American sniper! Barkov scores. Yzerman ties it. Boqvist answers back, and then Yzerman ties it again after. Shots are 16 to 10 through 20. We're tied at 2. Could he be... we're on hat-trick watch for sure. Could he hit that first... Would it be his first postseason hat-trick? I wonder. Anyways, Toffoli 3-2 and 4-2 Panthers. Barkov completes the hat. No, he was Boakfist, yes. So 2 from Barkov, 2 from EISERMAN. Shots are 25-23 in our favor, but we're down by 2 here in the third period. The Panthers want to push this series to 7 just like it was 2 years ago. Let's go. 15 minutes to score 2 more goals. It can't be all Cole EISERMAN. Where's the rest of the top 9 out here? 10 minutes to go. We're leading the shots still, but no scoring as Spencer Knight is shutting the door. Final 5 minutes. We need one now, but Spencer Knight will say no. Ekblad adds the empty netter, and we're off to Game 7. Shots end 39-35. It's the Knight versus the Emperor, as Knight makes 37 saves. Barkov 2 goals and an assist for the captain. And just like 2 years ago, we beat the Panthers in 7 to go to the Stanley Cup Final. What's up over here? The Jets are through! So just like 2 years ago, will we beat the Panthers in Game 7 to go on to face the Jets in the Stanley Cup Final? Or will it be Florida facing off against Winnipeg? The Jets, they've made, is that like their 3rd Cup Final? They've been very good in recent years as well. Another piece of evidence for why that trade worked for them when we made that draft pick trade a few years ago that had us get Zuppo and them get the elite forward. Do we change anything else? EISERMAN, 11 goals, 11 assists. Horvat, 8 and 9. I'd be tempted to bring up Kapanen to the first line. Is it time to do that? Kapanen and EISERMAN together? Barzal, the playmaker? Martone, 8 points, -2. Horvat, 8 goals, 9 assists, +3. Maybe Besser plays with Horvat. The old buddies are reunited. And then Laine joins them. Belchet's cousins, Martone, is reunited. He was doing okay. Now we go Laine, Horvat, Besser. EISERMAN, Kapanen, Barzal, first line. We need to get some scoring. Minus, remove Cole EISERMAN. Yes, we've been scoring goals, but not the team. Just Cole EISERMAN. Remove Cole EISERMAN's scoring, and we don't have that overtime winner. We don't have the 2 goals from last game. It's a very different look right now. So let's try doing that. And on defense, we'll keep it as it's been, I suppose. Unless Jiricek should be getting more ice time. I mean, 97 shot blocking, 96 stick checking. Vince Dunn, 88-90, is getting older. 4-star skating. Jiricek, also 4-star skating. I don't know, do we just need to give more ice time to Jiricek? And Boldzuk, 5 games, even plus-minus. How much is Dunn playing the last few games? If you look at the game logs, he's playing 22, 23.5, 22.5, 23.5. While Jiricek is playing, looking at his, I always click the wrong one, looking at his game logs. Sometimes 23.5 as well, 21, 18, 25, a little bit less, but pretty similar. -2 last game. Should Jiricek and Dunn swap? I'm going to say no. I'm tempted, but I'm going to say no. And Augustine, of course, remains our starter. All right. Game 7, it all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. And just in case, I'm going to go ahead and save the file. You never know what might happen in glitches, but I'm going to make sure there's no cuts from here on out so you know that I'm saving the file and going straight into the game. Game 7 here against the Panthers. We faced them 2 years ago and made it through. We defeated them. We went to the Cup Final. Can we do it again 2 years later for the 2031 Eastern Conference Final? The winner goes to face off for Lord Stanley. On home ice, here we go. First period, Brock Besser scores early. First period ends 1-0. The lone goal comes from Brock Besser. 1 minute and 34 seconds in. Shots 14 to 9 through 20. And that second line scores a goal. Thank you very much. Second period, 1-0. It remains. Oh my goodness, on the edge of our seats. Shots are 23-22 for the Isles. 1-0 game. No scoring since that goal, like in the first minute and a half. Both goalies standing tall, and it's a 1-0 lead moving into the third and final period. Win this period, and we're through to the Stanley Cup Final. Third period in front of the home fans. Stand tall. Landon Zuppo, yes! With Vince Dunn as his partner. Power play Panthers killed off. 2-0 Isles. Will it be enough? 3-0 Oliver Kapanen, first line center. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, for the third time in the last 4 years, the New York Islanders are off to the Stanley Cup Final as the Panthers get shut out by Trey Augustine. What a clutch performance from the 81 overall Emperor. 30 save shutout, his third of the postseason, as the shots end 40-30, and the Islanders shut out the Panthers 3-0 to move to the Stanley Cup Final. Augustine first star, Kapanen a goal and 2 assists, Cole Eiserman 2 assists, now has 24 points, I believe. 3-0 and we're through. It's going to be hopefully a repeat of 2 years ago. Beat the Panthers in 7 in the Eastern Conference Final, and then beat the Jets to win the Stanley Cup. Let's hope for a repeat, as we'll be facing off against the 48-26-8 Winnipeg Jets. I gotta take a second to breathe. Oh my goodness, the line changes worked out and we are through. Shades of the Dynasty of the 80s. The Islanders of the late 2020s and early 2030s have now been to 3 Stanley Cup Finals in 4 years. So that's a lot to be proud of. We've done great things through 7 years here with this Islanders team. That's what they brought us in to do, and we've been doing it. The Jets beat the Preds in 5, Sharks in 5, and then Canucks in 6. To now face off against us in the 2031 Stanley Cup Final. Through our 3 rounds so far, Cole Eiserman has 11 goals, 4 game winners, and 24 points. Easily the front runner for the Conn Smythe right now. Oliver Kapanen, 11 goals himself and also 18 points, now taking the mantle as first-line center. Horvat, 17 and 18. Barzal, 16. Besser, 16 with 5 goals only, but hey. Landon Dupont, 13 and 18 with a +8. Line 13. Dunn, 11 and a +10. Ralph Preissing, 9 points. Only 1 in that Eastern Conference Final, I believe. No problem. Martone, 8 points, -2. I don't know what his problem is. Cousins, 8 points, -1. Belchat, 7 points in 18 games. Fajimo has 5. Yurchek, 5 points +4 in 15 games. Archiri, 5. Sandin, 4 points +5. Pollock, 3 in 18. Bolzuk, 1 assist +1. Hornqvist, 1 assist, -2 in 15 games, so Bolzuk will continue there. And goaltending, Trey Augustine, I cannot believe it. 12 and 5 with 3 shutouts, a .911 save percentage, and 2.66 goals against average. The man who has never been higher than an 81 overall, now in 36 postseason appearances, is 25-9-2 with 6 shutouts, a .915 save percentage, and 2.54 goals against average. While like 94 overall, Andrei Vasilevsky can barely get above an .850 save percentage. Oh, EA NHL. We found the guy to break the system, I suppose. 81 overall, Trey Augustine has been that guy. Wow, wow, wow. Is Eiserman leading the entire postseason? The league in postseason scoring? No, it's Elias Pettersson, who has now been eliminated with 31 points. Both Pettersson and Garland eliminated. Kachuk gone. So Eiserman, the highest of the remaining players. No, DeBrusk's in Vancouver as well. So Eiserman, the highest scorer of the remaining players. Okay, so moving into the Stanley Cup Final, we faced off against Winnipeg just once 2 years ago. We swept them to win our first Stanley Cup in our franchise mode series, and the first since the Dynasty of the 80s. Can we beat them for the second time in 3 years to win our second cup in 3 years? Let's check out their lineup here for the 2031 Stanley Cup Final down in Winnipeg. So, first line, Connor, Barbashev, and Ehlers. Wow. 90 overall, Nikolai Ehlers has 19 points. Ivan Barbashev, 89 overall, 6 goals, 15 points in 16 games. And Kyle Connor, 13 goals and 20 points in 16 games. Second line is Mark Scheifele, okay, with Gabe Vilardi. And here's Evan Pelly, that forward who they drafted. They traded us pick number 1 for pick number 3, giving us Dupont and them getting Pelly, and they got other pieces as well, Cyflikov, Lysell, whatever, and they've been to a lot of Stanley Cup Finals. They've had a lot of team success. He's up to an 88 overall now, so we can see the value that Winnipeg saw in him with the high elite potential now. Third line, Cunnin, Lambert, and Marchment. Former Islander as well, Mason Marchment. He played 2 years with us, won a Stanley Cup, beating Winnipeg in 2030, went to Pittsburgh, now in Winnipeg. Went to Pittsburgh and then traded to Winnipeg, and now he'll play against us. And then speaking of those players who we lost, Fabian Lysell, former Islander, fourth liner, with Trent Frederick and another former Islander, Simon Holmstrom. So some former Islanders here in the bottom 6, Holmstrom, Lysell, and Marchment, as well as the pick and Pelly that came from us. On defense, Broberg with Carlo, Poirier with Morrissey at 84, and Nicholas Haig with Oliver Shillington. So all the defensemen between 82 and 84 overall. Okay. And goaltending is 79 overall, Colton Ellis, who has a .919 save percentage, an 81 overall versus a 79 overall. If this doesn't tell you what is valued in the postseason simulation system of EA NHL franchise mode, I don't know what will. All the best goalies in the league have been eliminated, and the last 2 standing are 79 and 81. There you go. And in the season, Colton Ellis was 40 and 17 and 5 with an 899 save percentage and 3.21 goals against average. That's the type of Colton Ellis we want to see, backed up by Thomas Milic. Scratches, no one too interesting, no injuries to them. So they are fully healthy. We are fully healthy. We swept them 2 years ago. They are coming back with a vengeance to face off against us. As we see on the right, they're scoring a bit more than us, 3.88 versus 3.67. Goals against, they're also allowing less, 2.88 versus our 2.94. Our power play is much better at 27% versus 15.7, but they have the edge on the penalty kill, 82.8 to our 80. We've gotten a lot better from 74 to 80%. The power plays dropped from 33 to 27, but now here we go with home ice advantage against the 48, 26, and 8 Jets. Or it was 20, and whatever their record was, for Game 1 of the 2031 Stanley Cup Final, our third appearance in the last 4 years. As we kill an early power play, another power play, oh my goodness, power play for us now. We take a third power play for the Jets. We kill all of those. Hold on, let's pause here. We're shorthanded 3 times in that first period, as Dunn tripping, Belchet's interference, and Cousins high sticking. Great. But thankfully, no goals against. But as I press, whenever you press pause and then press play, like 50% of the time it leads to a goal. Carlos scores, Barbashev scores, we're down 2-0 after 20. Shots 13 to 10 for the Jets, and we trail by 2. All right, second period now, nothing. Colton Ellis standing tall. Shots are 19-18 for Winnipeg, and we're still down by 2, yet to score a goal in this Stanley Cup Final. Another power play for Winnipeg. Power play for us now. Let's go, boys. Long extended opportunity. Goes nowhere. So Colton Ellis will open up the series as a 79 overall with a shutout against the best team in the NHL. That makes sense. All right, so shake off Game 1. Shake off Game 1. Shake off Game 1. Shots end 30 to 27. 30 save shutout from the 79 overall. Yep, 25 saves from Augustine. Game-winning goal from Brendan Carlo. With their 83 overall defenseman and everything, we can't score a goal against this 83 overall defenseman and 79 overall goalie. Okay. Deep breaths, data. Here we go. Game 2, to split the games at home. We won't sweep the Jets, at least there's that. After we swept them 2 years ago, they answer in the first game back in the postseason with a shutout victory themselves. First period of Game 2, 1-1. Matty Barzal scores the first goal for us in the Cup Final, and Kyle Connor scores his 14th goal on the power play to tie it. Second period, 3-1 Isles. Thank you! Porter Martone on the power play with just his 5th goal of the postseason, and Brock Besser with just his 6th, I believe, as we're now up 3-1 on the power play moving into the third period. Yes, power play to start the period, killed off by the Jets. We have a 2-goal lead, making a 3-goal lead thanks to the captain. Bo Horvat puts us up 4-1. Power play Jets, and Bo Horvat scores as that power play expires. The captain scores twice in the third. Power play goal from Mark Scheifele to bring the Jets within 3. That should be enough, though, with 5 minutes to go, as we'll tie this series at 1, headed back to north of the border. 5-2 the final. Shots end 36-34 for the Jets, but we come away with the win, as Trey Arstine looked very good, making 34 saves. Second star honors for him, as Horvat first star with 2 goals, and Besser had a goal and an assist. 5-2 Isles. Okay. So we're back in it. 1-1 series now. 1-1 series headed to Canada Life Center in sunny Winnipeg in the month of June. The only time that it's sunny, I suppose. Or not, well, it's just not snowing. All right, it's a best of 5 here against the Jets. We had a big win. Let's keep the momentum rolling for Game 3 of the Cup Final. First period, 1-0 Isles. Bo Horvat shorthanded. Whoa, we're getting outshot 13-3. 1 goal on 3 shots past Colton Ellis. Thank you, we're being quadrupled. 13-3. Second period, 2-2 game. Barbashev ties it. Dunn puts us back up. Vince Dunn, I love you. Then Philip Broberg ties it back up. Shots now 24-20. So we had a 21-shot period. 21-7, the shots in our favor in the second. Now 24-20 in total through 40 minutes. It's a 2-2 game. Next, winner of this period, 3-2 Kyle Connor, his 14th goal. Winner of this period goes up 2-1. Power play Isles, killed off by the Jets. Power play Isles again. Come on, gentlemen. Killed off. Third power play of the period. Did the Jets kill it again? Oh my goodness. All the Cousins and Belchets and everybody. Come on. They can't do anything in that second unit, especially as we lose 5-2. Shots 39-30. And Colton Ellis makes 37 saves, of course. Of course he does. 5-2 Jets win as we're now down 2-1 in the series. All right, time for more changes, I believe, as Bo Horvat's the only guy who's scoring, I suppose, now. Laine Martone swap again. Let's do that. Okay. Belchet's 7 points. Fajmo 3 goals, 3 assists. Pricing hasn't done much in a little bit. He's at 10 points though. I wonder. You know what? Let's go crazy. Oh my goodness, this is so laggy. Cousins, I'd almost pull him off if I had a better option. Belchet's Fajmo 4th line. Pricing, Cousins, line A. Let's go crazy on the 3rd. Defense, Dunn plus 12. Dupont plus 9. Sandin, Yurchek. 20 penalty minutes. You're killing me, Yurchek. The 3rd pair is not looking especially impressive. And yeah, Sorokin now down to an 83 overall. Loses another X factor. Yeah, Sorokin most likely, definitely out, but most likely played his last minutes as an Islander. Okay, and Bo Horvat also down to an 83. Whoa, 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 whoa. Also down to... Anyone else changing an overall? Not that I've caught here. So Horvat and Sorokin both down to 83 overall. Those are the only changes. Yeah. Okay, I wonder if that changes anything for Bo Horvat's contract demands now. It should, as he's now further down the list here. Bo Horvat was wanting, what, 1 by 6 point something? Still at 6.725, but should continue to drop. Maybe he's 3rd line center. Yeah, the plan was always to be that. Kapanen 1st line center, Cousins 2nd line center. Maybe Horvat 3rd line center next year. Anyways, on the road at the Canada Life Center now, down 2 games to 1. I see this as a must-win. To go down 3 games to 1 and need to win 3 in a row in the Stanley Cup Final, I see this as a must-win game to tie the series at 2 and make it a best of 3. Let's go. Before we head back home for Game 5, give it everything you've got, boys. Let's go. First period. 1-0 Winnipeg early. Luke Cunnin. Shots tied at 12, but we're down 1-0. Top 6. Come on, second period. Oh, Colton. Don't tell me Colton Ellis is going to be shutting us out again. The 79 overall against the best President's Trophy winning team. Against the President's Trophy winning team. The 79 overall goalie will shut us out every game, right? Hold on, before I lose my head just yet. Shots are tied at 21. We're down 1-0. Still very much within reach. Gabe Velarde makes it 2-0, and Kyle Connor makes it 3-0. There you go. Allow 2 goals in the first 4 minutes. That's great. And get nothing. And keep taking penalties. Yes. There you go. 4-0. What? 7-0? Zero passion. Zero passion whatsoever. To allow 6 third-period goals and get none ourselves. 32 saves from Colton Ellis, and we allow 7 goals. Now on the brink of losing the Stanley Cup. 7-0 loss? Are you serious? No, that means major changes. Major changes. Okay, EISERMAN, you haven't been scoring anymore. You stopped scoring. So he had 11 goals, you promoted him, or he had 10, and then nothing's happened since then. Kapanen Barzal is down from 90 to an 89. Kapanen also stuck at 11 goals. So both EISERMAN and Kapanen are just stuck now. So let's go back to Bo. We're going to go with simulation. We're going to go back to Bo. Bo and Besser are going to move up. Bo, Besser, line A. Barzal, Kapanen, EISERMAN. Fajimo, Martone, Cousins. Pricing Arcuri, Belchet's. Defense, Dunn, Dupont. Hold on, what was his last game? -4 from Dunn. Okay, so Dunn, Yurchek swap. Don't tell me he took 4 penalty minutes. No, he hasn't. Still, Yurchek, Dupont back there. Sandin, Dunn there. Bozuk now -1 and Pollock -2. 3-star skating, 3.5-star defense. Hornqvist, 4-star skating, 3.5-star team. Yeah, we're going to go to Hornqvist now. Hornqvist, Boltzuk. Pollock will come out. And we'll keep with Augustine. As Sorokin didn't do anything better in relief. 742 save percentage, 7.81 goals against average. No. So Augustine is going to be the guy we go with once again. And they're the changes to the lineup. That's it. Anything in the power play? We've squandered some power plays. Yeah, let's change this up. The power play will now be... Cole EISERMAN's going to finish on Unit 1 with Barzal, the playmaker, here. No, he'll swap with Besser. Barzal, Besser there. So let's make sure distributor Dupont, finisher EISERMAN, and puck carrier will be Barzal. And you know what? I'm going to put Kapanen into center of the second unit power play, probably. Unless it messes up the chemistry too much, but anyways. So Kapanen will center the first unit power play. Second unit, Bo Horvat is going to be the finisher. And Dylan Cousins will play center. Line will go here. Martone on the wing. Fagemo out. And Vince Dunn. No, Jiricek to the point. There we go. So distributor will be Jiricek, sure. Finisher will be Horvat. Puck carrier can be Martone. Okay, so overhauls of the power play. Because slow sim, we've been struggling. Although it's been good, but from 33.3% to 20% is ridiculous. It's been good, but that's, come on. The penalty kill's gotten even better at 82.9. And Colton Ellis with a 925 save percentage and 2.33 goals against average. I hate this game so much. Here we go. Game 5. We need to win 3 in a row, gentlemen. 3 in a row to win the Stanley Cup. We've made it so far. President's Trophy, round 1, round 2, another Eastern Conference final. We're in another Stanley Cup final to win just our 2nd cup. We've done so well in 7 years. A 2nd cup would go such a long way for these veterans here in the GM data era. Do not go gentle into that good night. Do not go gentle. Game 5 at home. 1 of 3. We got to take the next 3 in a row. It all starts here to capture Lord Stanley. The march back begins now. The march back begins back up now. First period, 2-1 Isles early. Brad Lambert scores to make it 1-0 Jets, but we answer back. Barzal and Martone, with those line changes, will get us up 2-1. Shots are 10-8 Winnipeg, and we lead by 1. Second period, 3-1. Cole EISERMAN back to his scoring ways. Very good. 3-1 Islanders. We're being outshot 26-14. But we are up by 2. Make it up by 3. Ralph Pricing, welcome back to his old habits. 4-1 Isles. 3-goal lead. Come on, boys. 3-goal lead. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Francesco Arcuri rages and makes it 5-1. Islanders win, and we outshot 36-22, but a huge passion play game. After that 7-0 shutout disgrace, we answer back with a big performance. Augustine makes 35 saves. Jiricek registers 3 assists up in the top pair. Arcuri even 3rd star of the game. How about that? 1 down, 2 to go. It's a 3-2 series now for the Jets as we win at home, but now we'll have to win on the road in Winnipeg. Last time we were on the road, we lost 7-0 at the Canada Life Center. 1 down, 2 to go. We need to win this game to 4-7. I know you can do it, gentlemen. I know you can do it. You've seen so many legends and veterans come and go. We did it for Palmieri and for Lee and all these guys. But now it's time to get one more before we start waving goodbye to the Pullocks and Sorokins and soon the Barzals and the Horvats of the world. 1 down, 2 to go. Bring that same passion and do not go gentle into that good night. Game 6. Here on the road. First period, 1-0 Jets. Mason Marchment, the former Islander, makes it 1-0 Winnipeg. Second period. Four nothing Jets. 4-0 Jets. Ehlers, Connor, and Holmstrom, and that'll probably be it. Just can't have consistent passion. 7-0 loss. Then we win, what, 5-1? Now it's going to be a 5+0 loss again. As Colton Ellis will shut us out, right? Down by 4. GM Data is coming into the room and smashing sticks. Smashing sticks against the wall. Where is your passion for this Islanders team? 4-0. Losing in the Stanley Cup Final is one thing. But to be embarrassed by a team that we know we can beat and have beaten before to this degree is unacceptable. We know we're better, we've done better, and we have the experiences deep in our subconscious and our psyche to tap into and to be successful here in this third period. Down by 4, we've scored more in a period before. Get out there and get us to 7. Third period here, Winnipeg power play right away. Power play Isles, come on, here's the chance. Killed off by the Jets. Final 10 minutes is where I'm going to hop in. 9:44 power play. If there's ever a chance that something would happen, it would be in the live simulation. So let's hop into it. On the power play, down by 4 with just under 10 to go. Offensive zone draw with 9:59 to go. Down 4-0 here in Winnipeg. Face off. tone. Just watch it pass by. You win a face-off, it just goes right by. Oh, wait, that's in. Year check. That's why we can't go in. I'm only going in because I know that we wouldn't score 4 goals in 10 minutes in the slow sim with how things were going. And there you go. Just Biercheck skates away. This is horrible. This is worse than normal. What's going on? Cousins to Laine. Here we go, boys. On net against the team that drafted him, Patrick Laine. Forgot to mention that point in the storyline. Oh my goodness. Not even, forget no shots, not even generating any possession here in the offensive zone. Here comes Bo. Can he get past these guys? No, but Laine can. Shoot! There you go. At least it's a shot, and Ellis will hang on. Oliver Kapanen. Offensive zone draw, thank you. Dupont. Barzal breaks his stick. Ah, this game hates us. Oliver Kapanen. Let's go. Put it on net. To Dupont with space! A little bit of a toe there, maybe, from Ellis. All right, at least it's on net. Kapanen with 10 seconds left in the power play. In front, Besser! Oh, with a good look! Ellis sprawling to make the save. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a 35 save shutout in the end from Colton Ellis. The 79 overall. We're getting EA'd so bad. Cousins wins it to Horvat. Shoot, Bo! Good save, everyone scores. Thank you, Patrick Laine, power play goal. That's one. That is one. Oh my goodness. 5th of the playoffs coming in the dying seconds of the power play. Oh my goodness. All right, 4-1 game. Before I snap too hard, let's keep on rolling. With just over 8 minutes left now, we have 3 goals to go. Done in front, broken up, big hit, and now we have to fight now, right? Of course. It has to lead to a fight. Of course it does. Oh, who's this? Cousins is fighting? Great. There goes our third line center for the next 5 minutes. Fighting up. Who's fighting? Broberg. Okay, oh, wow, what a finish. Boom! From Dylan Cousins. That raises the energy back up. Thank you. I'll take it. But there goes our third line center for the next 5 minutes with 8:07 to go. Awesome. Let's get the first line out then with full energy. May as well take advantage of it. And their top pair defenseman, Broberg, will be out now for fighting. I don't know if somebody got injured there on that hit or what. But now here we go. Bo top 50 on the dot. Let's go, Captain. Bo wins the draw back. Dupont to the point. One-timer Jiricek. Big blocker save from Ellis. And yes, of course, by the way, also bumping the shooting sliders up, since the game will never shoot, but at least this makes it maybe 2% more likely that the AI will take a shot when there's a wide open net. Oliver Kapanen with 7 minutes to go, gets it to EISERMAN. Barzal can't get the shot off with his Morrissey, just principal point of contact being the head. That's great. Fishing forward, Barzal gets it. Sandin, done. EISERMAN, everyone on their backhand. Kapanen to the point, done. Shoot somebody! Kapanen, there you go. Gets the shot away, and that's stopped. Get up, Kapanen! Get up! Penalty takes away from EISERMAN. And then that's it. Back up and just backing up to let them shoot, and there's the Stanley Cup winning goal. That's why we can't come in to watch this game. Look at Dupont. He's standing where he needs to stand, and he literally just backs up to let him come in and shoot. EA Sports, are you not embarrassed? We buy this game every year. Are you not embarrassed that the defenseman who's assigned to that side of the ice, the left defenseman, he's not even going back to his position on the right side, the left defenseman is in position where he's supposed to be as soon as a player enters his periph with the puck to enter with a shooting opportunity, he actively skates backwards, making shuffles to back up, stop, and watch the shot be taken and the goal be scored. I have nothing left to say. Again, if we went in, we would have lost. If we didn't go in, we would have lost 4-0. Going in, we'll lose 5-1, so a loss is a loss. But things like this is why this game is unplayable and unwatchable, and the only reason anyone should buy it, if even at that, is to play franchise mode for discounted 80% off. Full price to play the game, to play Ultimate Team, to play Chell, to play Be a Pro, do not bother until maybe NHL 26. But when this is what we're seeing, and I'm not being unfair, I'm trying to be someone, I've always been balanced in my approaches. When this is what we're getting from the EA NHL franchise, if you want to play or watch anything of gameplay, do not purchase and waste your money. Buy a previous game, even 24 was better, as bad as it was, or wait until it's 80% off. But we as a community need to stop buying these games. I'll buy it so you can watch it and it's you can enjoy it vicariously. But if you're doing it for personal use, if I didn't have my channel, I would not have bought an NHL, I kid you not, since NHL 18. I would not have bought since NHL 18 if it was for my own personal use. I would have said, I'm fed up with this game. I'm never giving it my money again. But because I make content, I've continued to buy the games. And I continue to warn all of you not to buy them. And I hope that some of you have taken that advice. Why are we watching the coach now? Now we have to watch the coach for 30 seconds. These unskippable... I don't even want to... Cutscenes. Rant over. I'll watch it out just in case any magic happens, but that about does it. Yep. Yeehaw! That's it. Just follow him on his shoulder. Don't try and actually use your stick or anything. Just follow him on his shoulder. Just go shoulder to shoulder with him all the way until he takes his shot. Yay, Bo Horvat! Woohoo! Also with some goalie interference. How did that goal count? Just skates into the goalie and then smashes into the net. Okay, thank you, Brock Besser. Woohoo! Yahoo! Oliver Kapanen scores his 12th. Youpee. Horrible replay. What am I watching? What is this replay? The goal is over 5 minutes ago. This is the little things of the game that make this game horrible. And after a 6-game series, the Winnipeg Jets are the 2031 Stanley Cup champions. As we make our 3rd Stanley Cup Final in 4 years, but also lose our 2nd Stanley Cup Final in 4 years. We are now 1-2 in 3 Stanley Cup Final appearances. Nikolai Ehlers, Conn Smythe winner. The horn is still going. I don't know why the horn is still going. Ehlers wins the Conn Smythe. Would have been tight with Cole EISERMAN. And the Jets finally get their cup. I don't think they ever won it. This is probably their... I think they've also had 3 Stanley Cup Final appearances. We'll check in the awards in a moment. But the Jets finally get their cup. Dupont won one with us. Pelly wins one with them in that prospect pick swap of way back when. Now the captain... I would assume Mark Scheifele? Yes, Mark Scheifele, the captain, guest raised the cup here in Canada in front of all the Jets fans. I believe the first Canadian Cup since 1993 as well, almost 40 years later. So congrats to the Jets, but having lost in the fashion that we lost, especially against a 79 overall goalie who completely shut us down, as we outshot the Jets 47-43 here in Game 6 and lose 6-3. Oh, man. So close yet again. The Sabres fired their head coach there. So close yet again as the Jets are Stanley Cup champions. Belleville wins down in the AHL. Let's take a moment in the last 10 minutes or so of the episode to wrap up all the things moving into the offseason and all that. So the Jets never had a series longer than 6 games as we pushed them to as long as the Jets pushed them. But they eliminated us in 6. In the end, when it came to our scoring, Cole EISERMAN led the way with 27 points in 24 games. Well done to him. 4 game-winning goals. Besser, 4 out of his 6 goals were game winners, by the way. Oliver Kapanen, ready to take the mantle as first-line center, scored 23 and 24. But Bo Horvat had the same, 12 goals, 11 assists, 23 points from the now 83 overall. Matty Barzal had 21. Besser, 6 goals, 19 points, 4 game winners. Dupont, 16 points and a +3. Laine, 15 points, -6, possibly his last games as an Islander. Vince Dunn, 14 points, +10. Could he be on his way out? Pricing, 11 points, +5. That's crazy, playing under 8 minutes a night. Porter Martone, playing 16.5 minutes a game as an 89 overall, scores less than Ralph Pricing and is a -6. Yep. Dylan Cousins, 9 points, -6, not used to the postseason. Yurchek, 8 points, -1 in 21 games. Belchat's 8 points in 24 games. I wonder. Fajmo, 7 points, -1. Arcuri, 7 points, +4. Sandin, 4 assists, +4. Pollock, 3 points, -2 in 22 games. Bozuk, 2 assists, -2 in 12 games. Hornqvist, 2 assists, -3 in 17 games. Goaltending, the Emperor went 14-9. Not the greatest record, but 3 shutouts, a .910 save percentage, and 2.82 goals against average, as Sorokin allowed 9 goals on 35 shots in his 2 appearances to wrap up his career as an Islander. There you go. Looking at the awards now for year number 7, so the Jets finally win the Stanley Cup as they had been to 3 consecutive, Stanley Cup Finals, and finally win now 3rd time's a charm. So I guess you can feel happy for them for that. Islanders, Rangers, that's now a 5th consecutive year of either of the New York teams making it to the Eastern Conference, being the Eastern Conference representative in the Stanley Cup Final. And yes, President's Trophy went to us. Now, in the individual awards, so JT Miller won the Art Ross Trophy and the Hart Trophy for the Vancouver Canucks. The James Norris went to Adam Fox. Lady Byng to Jack Hughes. Calder to Cripps on the Predators. Conn Smythe to Nick Ehlers. Vezina went to Dostal over on the Red Wings. Jennings to Shesterkin. Masterton to Rayon Mullen on the Flyers. Kemp, the coach of the Kings, wins the Jack Adams. Austin Matthews in Philadelphia wins the Frank J. Selke. Ted Lindsay goes to Miller, and the Maurice Richard for a 4th consecutive year to Connor Bedard. Down in the AHL, no awards for Bridgeport. All right, so there are the awards. We're yet to win any individual awards in this series. Through 7 years, we have a Conn Smythe to Evgeny Malkin, and that's it. No awards aside from that. So we'll start moving towards the off-season now, and we'll think about our plan, I suppose. I'm not going to look at, just quick year check contract. So 6x14 is not what he's asking for, yes, but 8 years would make him happier. He still wants those 8 years. So as of now, unless something changes between now and the draft, we're looking at 8 by 13.5. 8 years at 13.3. 13.3 for 8 years probably, with a full no-move clause, which I'd prefer not to do. And if it's some sort of... Actually, a modified clause wouldn't make him that much less interested. Something like this, where it'd be like a 4-year no-trade clause, and then a 4-year 20-team no-trade list. So tradable to 12 teams in his last 4 years of his contract. Something like that at 8 by 13.35 might be what we're looking at, unless it changes between now and the draft. We'll wait on looking at everybody else's demand because we're about to sim to the draft right now. And then we'll look at progress reports and all that to wrap up the episode. Potential draft plans. Salary cap up to $109 million for next year, as we'll be trying for a 5th consecutive Eastern Conference final and a 4th Stanley Cup final in 5 years. That's what we're trying for. Buffalo jumps from 2-1 in the draft lottery. Utah 4-2. Philadelphia drops 1-3 with Austin Matthews in that lineup, winning the Selke. Really, Selke Trophy to the player on one of the worst teams in the league. Retired players, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at the age of 38 after 1,263 points in his career. He calls it a career. Kadri, O'Reilly, Skinner, Letang, former Islander Chris Letang, Hedman, Landeskog, Hurdle, Stone. Brock Nelson retires, of course, in our system. Yes, in Bridgeport, he retires. So Brock Nelson officially calls it a career. Our first-round pick back in 2010. We brought him back just a little bit. The majority of his 1,306 games played as an Islander, just 82, 62. So 1,162 games played as an Islander, scoring minus the 65 points, scoring 741 points in an Islanders jersey. Served as captain for a couple of years as well. And of course, in the playoffs, minus his 7 games as a Shark, it would be 114 postseason games as an Islander, scoring 31 goals and 29 assists for 60 points. Sadly, never winning a Stanley Cup. As he was a part of the team that went to the Stanley Cup Final, he was a healthy scratch. He was in the lineup. It's too bad. Kreider, Kane, Saad. We got a cup for a lot of other players. Couldn't do it for Nelson. Another original Islander here that we took over back in year number 1. Jean-Gabriel Pageau retires. Yeah, just Nelson there in the system. Now for goaltenders retiring, Varlamov. Wow, at 43 years of age. Semyon Varlamov, former Islander again. 402 wins in his career. Binnington, Allen, Grubauer. Wow, very good deal of longevity from Semyon Varlamov. Coach retirements. Bridgeport looks good. New York, we're good. Pro Scout, blah, blah, blah. Now here we are at the draft. Let's start thinking about our questions for the AGMs in the comments going towards episode number 26. Number 1, off-season focuses. Who's getting them and for what? Question number 2, what are we doing with the extensions? And, of course, in a moment, the trades. So, when we look at the expiring players, Yurchek's now at 92 overall. Does that change his demand as well? He wants 14.3. Anyways, we have 23.555 million. He wants the 8 years at 37. It's a lot to give him 8 years. It would pay him until he's 35. It's not the end of the world, but it would be costly. It seems as though the clauses would be about the same if we go with what we were just looking at. Even a full no-move clause doesn't do that much. There has to be a full no-move clause probably if you want to get the money down. Yeah, that's not going to be easy. Matty Barzal, now at 90 overall, 34 years of age, wants 2 years at 10.225 million. His organizational interest isn't even that high. Maybe we could have a conversation with him. He really wants the 2 years, which I could see, again, on a full no-move clause and everything if we want to keep him here on Long Island. But we have to really bring down... Yeah, okay, thankfully. We can really bring down the contract demand then. So that's fine with me. Like 2 years at 7.85 on Barzal, I think that works fine with the full no-move clause. If we can get him that cheap, then I'm okay with it. Remember, demands will change after the draft, so we can also wait until then. But if we do it as of now... Vince Dunn also wants 2 years at 6.1. Another guy, if we give a full no-move clause to, if we're committed to keeping him at least for another year, we can get down to the 5.75 range maybe. 2 years on a full no-move clause would get him really down into like a 2x5. He's 34, still 88 overall. He's still very important for that second pair. Bo Horvat, from 83 back to 88, so now his contract demands will go back up. That's crazy. How does he bounce back up 5 overalls? But thankfully, wants a realistic 1-year contract of 5.6 million. And 2 years, 9.9. Whoa. Okay, so let's really make sure we get him on a 1-year deal. We want to pay our captain well. 1 year, 5 million on a full no move, probably. We could get him cheaper, but maybe we don't want to. Give him the respect. 1 year, 5 million, maybe. Now going to be middle six, third line center. Ryan Pulock back to an 82, but I think he's gone now, sadly. Ryan Pulock, yeah, we'll be moving on from him. He wants 1 year, 6 million, really. Arcuri. Oh, look at Hakana. Yes! Look at the growth from Hakana. Kimo Hakana, 4th round pick, finally getting some growth up to an 80 overall. Okay, Ralph Pricing at an 80. We'll want to extend him. Anybody else seeing some good growth? Doucet, never. Gervais Chouinard up to a 72. We'll see the rest in the player development in a moment. Then main roster, goalies, Sorokin, 83. I'll be moving Ilya Sorokin, giving us another 8.25 million. Trey Augustine is still an 81 with starter potential, which is, I don't know what to tell you. And Ivankovic still 76. So we could see a lot of trades here. So trade suggestions, we'll get to in a moment. Right now we're just thinking contracts. There's the offseason conversation question, the contracts question, potential pending UFAs. If you look at that and sort by overall, looking at first the forwards, Pasternak, McKinnon, Bratt, Cooley, Brady Tkachuk, DeBrusk, Caulfield, Velarde, Kovalenko, Heineman, Kuzmenko, Lucius in this universe, Batherson, Miller, just coming off all those awards as well. Hedel, anyone younger? Chinnikov, Tumala. And then if we look at the defense, might be out here. Clark, Hughes, Luke Hughes, Power, Sider, Korchinski, Chernak, Gouli, Girard. And the goaltenders, maybe we go after a goalie with all the, if we have 81 Augustine, who's going to be playing with him if Sorokin's gone and Ivankovic can't ever cut it? Maybe that's another trade. But Vasilevsky, Harabel, maybe 87 medium elite. He could be somebody if he drops. Dostal, Decord. Maybe we even trade for his rights. Harabel's rights could be interesting to try and trade for. So that's those questions. Next, progress reports to see about who's potentially joining our team, who saw some big changes. Hakan up to an 80. That was a big one. Martone at a 91, really? This guy. He better have a good performance next year. First line right wing, maybe. Kapanen, 88. He'll be first line center. Besser. Fajmo, 84. We'll see if that sticks. Wow. Hornfist still an 81. Zupon, 93. Eiserman still an 86. Laine down to an 85. Belchat still an 83. Major changes coming this offseason, I think. The core pretty much stays the same, but some major things going to be going on. And in the system, Alexiev up to a 76. Okay. Who else? Nazar up to a 75. Bates, the defenseman, up to a 77. Where's Ulf Engqvist? Where did he go? Well, let's sort by overall. Engqvist didn't grow at all. Still 78. But Bates grew. Alexiev grew. Carbonneau did not grow at all. Of course he didn't. Malcolm up to a 75. Doucet, nothing. Gervais Chouinard, yes, at a 72. All right. Okay, so now the next question becomes, what is the potential lineup for us moving into next season? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the top 6. Horvat centering the third line with Laine on the right and Fajmo on the left. Then fourth line, Arcuri, Hakana, Pricing. Or should one of these guys like Hakana or Pricing get into the third line? Is Belchat's out? Probably Laine has to go at this point, thus allowing us to have the third line right wing spot open if we're committed to third line left wing being Fajmo. Then the fourth line spots too. And then, because no one else in the system would be ready to go, right? If we look at it overall wise here, no. For the forwards especially, no. Nurmi. Then defense, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Pulock gone. And then potentially pushing for the NHL could be Engqvist and or Bates. G. Bates. One of those two. That's a potential. And then the goaltending, Allmark's going to walk. Ivankovic is 76-24, time to trade him. Stepan, maybe he'll grow with Sasaki now backing him up next year. But Ivankovic is going to be out. So now the next question, continuing on, who are the excess pieces who are trading out? Can I look at my trade block at this point? No, eh? Okay, so just going on it by name, as you look through, let's say forwards first. So potential trade bait in this next offseason. Patrick Laine, Ethan Belchetz, that's 2 right there. Then in the system, Justin Carbonneau. The rights to Pulock could be traded out, I suppose. In the system, that's fine. And then goaltending, Ivankovic. So Ivankovic, Belchetz, Sorokin, Laine, Carbonneau, a few other pieces like that. That could bring back some serious value. Now the question will be, what are we targeting? We'll look at the trade blocks in a moment. Draft class, our next thing we have to think about, with our first round pick at the end of round 1. Blomstrand going first. This guy looks interesting. Similar to Guy Lafleur. Wow, medium elite. When we pick at the end of the first round, with pick 31 or whatever, do we want to try and trade up for a defensive defenseman gem in Colin Cardwell, 1 year away? He'll probably never grow. Maybe even a low elite defensive defenseman, Kubina, 2 years away. Medium top 4 offensive defenseman, medium top 6 forwards, blah, blah, blah. Or do we trade down and go after low elite, this guy Marchment, Maddox Marchment, 3 years away, low elite, possibly a 2-way forward, and all top 9 forwards. Ouch. Medium elite, ooh, Frederick Platt, 20-year-old medium elite gem, 3 years away. But you know what? An 18-year-old who's 5 years away is a 20-year-old who's 3 years away. So Frederick Platt, it's not crazy to say that we go after him, even though he's 20. 6'5" power forward, ranked pretty highly for 20 years old. Yeah, medium top 4, medium top 6 Ds there. Gauthier Leduc, Raphael Gauthier Leduc, low elite, 3 years away. Who else could be a target out here? Let's sort by potential now at this point. So other medium elites, Korobov, defensive defenseman, Oleg Korobov. Pekka, who's this? Brennan Pekka, medium elite goalie. Which medium elite goalie? I'm not going to go after every medium elite goalie. So they're all gems, they're all medium elite, they're all around the same area-ish. So Brennan Pekka, 6'2", 19. These numbers in a B- league, 5 years away. Then Jack James, 6'3", 20 years old. These numbers in an E-ranked league, 4 years away. Or Ricardo Rafalski, 6'3", 18, didn't play from the C- league, also 5 years away. I don't think I'd want James. So Pekka, Rafalski, between those two. And Rafalski would be the easier one to acquire. Low elites out here. Yeah, good number of low elites. Very nice. A couple of offensive defensemen. That can always be something special later on in the sim. Never know who might grow. Top 6 forwards. Nothing too crazy. Low top 6s. There's a low top 6 Magnus Eriksson grinder. Medium top 4D. Low top 4D. And then the starters and everything. All right. And with our selections, if you want to try and cross-reference, we pick at 31, then we pick at the end of the, end of the first round, end of the second round, end of the third round, end of the fourth round, pick 22 of round 5, then end of the fifth round, end of the sixth round, end of the 7th round, and pick 21 in round 7. So we have all 7 of our picks plus 2 more, so we have 9 selections in this draft. I suppose the last thing to do now would be to save the file, and then because there's such a heavy emphasis on trades in this offseason, I'm going to enter the draft just to see who's on the block. I'm not going to look at anything else. I'm not going to do any, oh, what's this prospect? No cheese. Just who's on the block, since the game, for some unknown, ridiculous reason, won't let you look at it. Buffalo has the first overall pick on the block. Are you kidding me? Buffalo has at least got to explore that. I doubt we make a trade for the first overall pick, but you got to at least explore it. I won. Like, imagine some huge blockbuster. Ethan Belchetz goes there. A top prospect in Hakana. Would Laine want to go there? Laine would be open to it. Like, imagine all this value goes to Buffalo. We'd be helping out their rebuild in a huge way. Would this be too cheesy when we take back contracts? Belchetz, Hakana, and Laine for the first overall? I don't know. Just throwing it out there that they have the first overall pick on the block. Anyways, what other picks? Any other major picks out here? No, pick 10, pick 12, pick 15. Okay, so now to the trade blocks around the NHL. If we're trading out all that value, what could we try and bring back? Some good young pieces. And maybe someone who's not on the block too, but we'll start with the blocks. Okay, Anaheim, Boston. A lot of expiring contracts will be here for sure. I'm looking more at the younger players. Cheval Dave, high top 6, 20 from Buffalo. If they want to, I don't know, if they want to trade their first overall pick and Cheval Dave? No, I doubt it. Calgary, Carolina, Chicago, Colorado, Columbus, Dallas, Torres, medium top 621, doubt it. Detroit, medium top 675.20, medium top 676.21, okay. Edmonton, Florida, Los Angeles, Minnesota, Montreal, Nashville, New Jersey, the Rangers, Ottawa, Flyers, Penguins, Sharks, Kraken, Blues, really not much anywhere here, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Utah, a lot of names in Utah, some expiring, Sergachev, that's who knows what he's going to be wanting as a contract. Machelli, 2 more years of 5.475 for an 86 overall. Okay. Vancouver, Vegas, Washington, and Winnipeg. All right, so there are the trade blocks around the league. Not that much that's super interesting, I have to say. Are there some sellers out there with some good... let's look at prospects, too. Let me just quickly fly through prospects. Maybe one team has an excess, and we want to try trading for somebody in particular. I'm not even going to say any names. I'm just going to fly through it. I'm going to put on their age as well. So you pause the screen and tell me if there's anybody who you like, or if there's anybody that you want more details on. Sorting by trade value. So there's Anaheim, there's Boston. Here's Buffalo, a lot being on the trade block. Calgary, Carolina, Chicago, Colorado, Columbus, Dallas, Detroit, some on the block, Edmonton, Florida, Los Angeles, Minnesota, Montreal, Nashville, New Jersey, New York, the Senators, the Flyers, a lot in there, Pittsburgh, San Jose, a lot on the block, Seattle, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Utah, Vancouver, Vegas, Washington, and Winnipeg. So that's just the rookies, though. What if there's someone who's kind of in that Ethan Belchet's category who could jump to the top 6 next year or soon, early 20s, low to mid 80 overalls? Let's take a little quick search through the player search here. At least 1 year of contract. Actually, it doesn't have to be. In theory, we could be trading for someone if we're trading out Belchet. Yeah, we could do that. Any forward, let's say at least 82 overall, who is max 24. Let's say that, between 17 and 24. Actually, 17 is probably a bit too young, because either they're going to be a super high-end prospect. Let's say 19 to 24. Yeah, franchise potential. Let's take out the franchise potentials. Try that again. That brings it down to 41. So Porter Martone, one of those guys, of course. Pelly, one of those guys, of course. Schultz, Emelin, Wright. The Flyers had a horrible year, but they would want to keep those guys. Unless they went in another direction. I don't know what. Ginla, Ryabkin, blah, 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 all the way down here. So there's Ethan Belchet's around this area. I don't know how he has more value than Cole Eiserman. Maybe starting by overall would be better. So Martone at the top here with Pelly and everybody, that's nice. Those are the guys who could be playing first-line minutes. Someone who's more in the middle 6 role as of now, an 87 at 23, and 84 at 20 at 80, an 86 at 24. Sorry, guys like this: Frundell, Kevin, Burchild. These guys could be interesting. Yeah, I'll have to do some research. Guys are getting buried, maybe. Like, look at this guy in Calgary. This sniper with 5-star shooting, playing just 10:34 of ice time. I want to take him from the Flames and save him, maybe. I can see Belchet's being in Calgary. Guys like that. There's probably a story on each one of these prospects. You can't look at every single one. If any of them stand out, you want to know more, some that interest you, maybe from a team that might stand out as well, I'll look into them. But if I give you the lowdown on 35 different prospects, this episode's going to be another 30 minutes. So that's what we'll say for now if we're thinking about potential trade targets. If we're not looking at prospects or guys on the block, it could be one of those names we just looked at right there. All right, so we'll end it off with another Stanley Cup Final appearance, ladies and gentlemen. 3 in the last 4 years. So much to be proud of this team and of the, can we say dynasty? I don't know, this very strong few years that this team has shown us. Now it's time to think about a major offseason. Will it be an overhaul? What kind of money is being dedicated where? Who's getting traded out? Who are we targeting? A lot to think about, so I might leave a week between this episode here to let all the AGMs get in their thoughts. Down here on YouTube or over in the Discord server, link in the description. Get in your thoughts, and of course, leave a like if you enjoyed the offseason. Thank you for being here for a longer episode. There was a lot of ups and downs in it. So proud of this team to have made it as far as we did. But we'd love to get one more taste of Lord Stanley before everyone from day one is gone. Moving into year number 8, a couple more originals will be gone with Pulock and Sorokin. So as much as we're excited about the future, we know that even though we want to try and keep Barzal, Horvat, whoever else, this team will see those major changes, whether we like it or not, over these next 2 off seasons, as Besser's probably gone next year, etc., etc., etc. So much I can say, but I just gotta put an end to this episode now. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here. Subscribe if you haven't already to be made aware of all of our uploads here on the channel, including our live stream series. Tuesdays are the Senators on Hockey Legacy Manager 25. Thursday, Blue Jays on MLB The Show 25. And Islanders episodes, NHL 25 player career simulations throughout on the channel as well. Some other content coming your way. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you once again in the next one as we get started on the 2031 draft and off season.